Okay, I pressed the button. So it should take a little bit for the stream. I actually have the stream on my phone now, so whatever the hell that starts up, we should know.
Okay.
So I don't need you to constantly look at the stream. Okay. Is the stream that I say I shared with you doing well?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, uh, I guess we're talking about the Emiru situation because let's be fair, there's a reason we all hate Twitch. I just don't know how to multi-stream yet, so I'm still looking that up. Um, that's not the button I was trying to press. Uh, but here we go. Okay, now I have the stream up on my phone, so I can make sure that it's going well. Uh, so where do you want to start with this? Because there's all kinds of stuff we could start with. Because we before the stream started, we were talking about how apparently this is just one catastrophe, and it's a pretty fucking big catastrophe over a lot of stupid decisions that Twitch apparently made.
And the problem is, nothing like unlike most other type of situations that is built upon different catastrophes. Like most of the times, most of these other ones tend to have like a bunch of small ones that cascade into big ones. No, nearly every single problem with Twitch is just one humongous thing that this site was not connected to Amazon could have been its death sentence.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Amazon, Twitch doesn't. People are under the false assumption that Twitch is here to make money. It's really not. It's the same thing with YouTube. YouTube was not bought by Google to make money. Both of these platforms were bought by their parent company for their social capital, and I hate using that phrase, but the ability to disseminate and control information and gather cultural power is the reason that these platforms were actually purchased. They never made money, they will never make money, and making money is secondary to the parent corporation, which is why they put up with the fact that neither of these companies have been actually profitable since they were bought. Like, they put up with a lot of shit because, again, they're not all that interested in actually the money coming in because both Google and Amazon are large enough that they can pour money into these projects, and while it does technically hurt their bottom line, it's not gonna cripple their company. And yeah,
And the sad part is, if like I have had somebody try to ask, like, well, is it possible to have like some sort of alternative that to these type of sites that isn't owned by the big companies? And like, and to that, I just sadly no, because again, these sites are the biggest versions of the social medias that the social media streamings that we have, and even with their size, they're still so unprofitable that it's like the only reason that they are still here is because of the big corporations that are funding them. So it's like, if any alternative is made to be on the same level as them, it's going to need a big is going to need one of these big corpos backing them.
yeah. See, none of the social media platforms, not just video sharing, but social media platforms as well. And I'm gonna bundle them together because oftentimes for some reason, and I don't really get why, but for some reason YouTube is considered social media, which strikes me as a fundamentally stupid way to do that. To do that classification, but none of these have ever been profitable. They've all relied on funding from a larger corporation that's large enough to eat the cost, and they eat the cost because again, not all benefit is monetary. You know, I like money as much as the next guy, but not all goods are intrinsically monetary, and a lot of these larger corporations do understand that again, social capital kind of important. So yeah, people do talk about like alternatives like Rumble for YouTube, and it's like, I mean, yeah, technically you can go to Rumble, but no one's moving from YouTube to Rumble, and no one's gonna move. And there are people who are moving from Twitch to Kick, and I got to learn how to I got to learn how to multi-stream with Kick. But the fact of the matter is that people aren't gonna move a large there's going to be a majority of people who aren't going to move from one platform to the other because it takes some work. And to be perfectly honest, most people are kind of lazy, especially when it comes to their entertainment. So, and yeah, YouTube and Twitch are primarily entertainment platforms. So they're not really gonna move even if they in shitify themselves. Uh, so, uh, so I guess we can
And which
keep going.
yeah, and even basically like a like say at a moment when if like say YouTube or Twitch finally does something that basically makes everyone decides to just boycott them, and it's like the alternative sites, unless they're basically backed by another big company that's going to do all this similar stuff, then it's going to have extremely worse and horrible deals for anyone who plans on streaming them for quite a while until they get one of these big backers. And then we're just going to go through the exact same puzzle problem again, over and over and over again until we end up getting lucky and finding one big company that decides to actually do good. But that's going to be a shot in the dark.
Yeah, didn't you tell me that Amazon is concerned about X making a Twitch competitor?
Oh no, it's like so I can't fully confirm this. It's only supposed inside source from some people from former Amazon employees. But according to them, Jeff Bezos, instead of caring about basically the state of Amazon or Twitch, is more focused on basically competing with with competing with. I know his name. I
Elon
just
Musk.
yeah, more concerned with competing with Elon Musk on the stuff that competing with Elon Musk on the crazy stuff he's done, like build like wanting to build a bigger rocket, beat his AI car, basically do all this type of stuff, and you're like, isn't this dude supposed to be the head of a shipping company?
Right? A fucking yeah, a product delivery company that can't deliver its products, apparently all that well anymore. Um,
Yeah,
okay, so I guess let's get back on track with the Emiru stuff. Um, so I have been, I'm gonna be perfectly honest, watching a bunch of people talk about the. Oh my god, we still got the spinning wheel of death on this one. Okay, so I mean, I've watched like Leaflet Asari, Pipkin Pippa. I haven't seen Hirohe talk about it yet, just because it hasn't popped up in my feed. Um,
and we've seen
but
Emiru herself talk a bit about
yeah,
it too.
and the small movie that Emiru herself made about the situation, and yeah. Long story short, I do agree with legal mindset. I mean, I think everyone for the most part agrees with legal mindset that like this was probably criminally negligent behavior and just everything about this is baffling. Like, okay,
And I like and I like to keep in mind to people because this is a piece of information that seems to be kind of tossed in the back burner of people's minds when talking about this. They bumped and like even though the security was kind of lackluster, they bumped up security still for this event, and we seen that basically still did nothing. So this was the most secure TwitchCon has been in like the longest time, and
yeah.
everyone's still complaining about how terrible it is compared to other cons.
Well, apparently, I'm gonna have to video snipe leaflet for this because I don't see where the like who the tweet is for this. But yeah, like even in the video, you can see like the guard is right here with his back to the wall, and the line goes past the wall. The leaf, yeah, I wasn't,
And
huh?
and before and to discredit what Twitch did, that's not their security guard. This is Emiru's security guard, and it's not even the security guard she wanted. The original security guard that she really loved having protect her got banned from TwitchCon because last time she did get a stalker, and he held the stalker down for police to arrive.
I mean,
And
yeah, as
and
he's
they said
supposed to do.
yeah, and they said yeah, and according to Twitch staff, they considered that too aggressive and banned him permanently from TwitchCon. And
So
this guy
apparent,
here, they were only at most going to give him 30 days.
so apparently. and I don't particularly buy this because again, Twitch was lying about other things, so I don't really, unless the statement that Twitch makes is one that also makes them look bad intentionally. You know, the principle of embarrassment. I'm not going to particularly believe what Twitch is saying directly, unless there's that layer of credibility and like you wouldn't admit this unless it, you know, because it makes you look bad, unless you were telling the truth. But yeah, so I'm not gonna buy that because Twitch has been saying that the the person who actually like the group that actually banned Emiru's bodyguard wasn't them. It was the venue. I'm like, I don't fucking believe that for a second. I do not fucking believe that for a goddamn second, to be perfectly honest. Um, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Even if this is, it doesn't matter whose bodyguard this is, though, Emiru or like Twitch's. Leaflet is right about this. This is like I don't understand why he's standing here. Like he cannot see adequately the venue where the guy ended up even coming from. So it doesn't make any sense for him to be standing here because in order for him to react, the person's going to have to enter their frame of vision, and then they're going to have to actively in time process that not only has he entered their frame of vision, but into what's going on. And we saw exactly that happen. Like this guy just wasn't paying attention. He wasn't like he wasn't actually where he needed to be. He probably should have been like he probably should have been around like right here, to be perfectly honest. Uh,
I am going to play a little devil's advocate. I'm not even going to believe what I'm basically about to say here, but again, we've seen how weird Twitch has been within their rules, so maybe they told him that he has to stand there. Again, I'm not sure that's exactly what's happened, but at this point in time, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past Twitch. I mean, apparently Emiru didn't necessarily want to do this meet and greet. Like she was told the show she was going to do is going to be canceled unless she does the meet and greet, which is like fucking what? Like what? So this occurred during a thing that like wasn't even necessarily initially the yeah. It's just like apparently they had to coerce people in order to do these meet and greets, and yeah, so that's one thing. Um, but yeah, apparently, like as we talked about, Henya, the guy had to walk past Henya's booth to get here. So no, luckily Henya wasn't actually there. So
Yeah, there was just so many type of issues with this situation that's like that any other con they already knew how to actually prevent. So that just kind of shows you the negligence of this that they couldn't even do the bare minimum.
yeah, but what else was there? Yeah, we're not. It wasn't the other con thing. Uh, I had a thought in my head and it just like disappeared. um, oh yeah, and Dan
Oh,
Clancy
like
and
I
like
was saying,
everyone else immediately coming out and like just making shit up about this. Like, it,
which I would like to point out, like the only reason that they're actually coming out of this, even if Emiru herself just came out and told everyone's like, "Hey, this has happened to me," I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have made a statement. They would have. The only reason that they're coming out making all these statements and all these type of claims is because this dude leaked and like posted this video.
yeah. Okay, so I can't find the tweet anymore. That's because I can't find this video. I don't know who actually posted this video, but I do know on this video, there are tweets of people being like, "You didn't have to post this online for her to see," and which is so funny because in her own like a video where she talks about I don't know, I can probably find it through here. Shockingly, apparently I can't because it's not linked. Okay, okay, but yeah, even Emiru herself in her own video is like, thank God for the person who recorded and posted it online. Yeah, that's why I'm like, look, I get it that people get a little annoyed with the cameraman because the cameraman's doing nothing but filming, but you know, someone has to be the one to actually film the event and record. You know, because it's evidence. It's you know, a literal recording of what happened, especially when a crime occurs. And yeah, this guy, you know, he cut through the line he did a very unwanted public display of affection, pulled her in, tried to kiss her. I don't know if he actually did kiss her. I don't think he did, from what I'm told.
From Yeah, from the way of how Emiru kind of worded it, it sounded like he luckily wasn't able to kiss her.
Yeah.
But there's also something I like to discredit. Like when you see him jerk his arm behind, and there's a small object that a lot of people are trying to equate to being a knife.
I mean, it
I'll
could
be
have
honest,
been,
it
but
doesn't look.
it could have
It could
been,
have been,
but
but
that
it does.
it could have also not been.
But no, I'm saying like it could have been, but it doesn't look. It looks too small to actually be an actual knife. And, and in fact, Emiru was actually signing a bunch of stuff there, and it kind of looked like the pen that she was using. So, and I can't fully confirm it, but it
He might
looks
have
like
grabbed
that
her
he
pen.
basically, yeah, he might have grabbed her pin and and basically just moved it away from her behind him, so and she can't use it.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I mean, obviously, there's different sizes of knives. Like, I don't know if you could hear that, but you know, yeah, some of the knives, some knives are obviously like smaller than others. You know, not every knife is a fucking Bowie knife, but even a moderate sized knife, like this jackknife right here. Again, I don't know if you can hear it. Pretty decently sized. You definitely be able to see that on the video, but we don't know anything other than he had an object in his hand, and that doesn't really matter because if that was a knife and if he did have malicious intent, as everyone was pointing out, uh, fucking rest in peace, Emiru. You never stood a chance. Uh, if he really wanted to hurt her, he didn't even need a weapon. The guy was definitely outside of her weight class. So yeah, again, just a disastrous example of incompetence from anyone who's telling the security what they can and must, cannot, and must do. Just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Um, yeah, I don't know if you could hear that jackknife, but hopefully you could. There's a reason I had that there. Uh, but
Yeah, the first night that you did, yes. The second one, no.
no, fair enough. Now, I'm personally of the opinion that you know, I'm a because I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. So personally, I'm not too. I'd personally be okay if con security, assuming they're actual security and not just volunteers, which is very possible the case. I don't really care if the con had, you know, uh, you know, was armed with firearms, but I guess that's a conversation for another time. Um, but where are we going? Oh yeah, so yeah, again, it's
You
just,
kind of.
huh?
I was
No,
about to say it sounded like you got cut up there.
no, I actually like stopped talking halfway through that sentence because my brain was thinking. Um,
Ah,
so yeah, and honestly, that's the thing that seemed to have been like most perturbing to Emiru in the whole thing is just there was literally it's like the thing we were talking about the shark spotters the other day, right?
yeah.
How when we were talking about shark spotters and how they're actually worse than nothing because they give you a false sense of security that something is going to prevent you from being hurt. Because like,
Yep.
what the fuck is a shark spotter going to do? Like the guy just like it didn't matter in the moment. I mean, obviously the guy kicked that the assaulter off of Emiru, but he didn't exactly. His job wasn't to remove an assaulter from his client. It was to prevent someone from assaulting his client in the first place. So, and that he definitely did not do. Again, it might not be his fault. It might be that he was under duress from either the venue or Twitch itself, possibly both. But again, whatever was going on, if he wasn't the cause of that particular issue, then there needs to be an investigation as to why this happened the way it did. Um, but
Also,
yeah.
I think I found the original. I think I found the guy who posted the original video, so I'm sending that to you right now.
Oh, thank you. Oh, excuse me. let's see. So some freak just assaulted Emiru at TwitchCon. This behavior is fucking disgusting. I'm amazed that she still came back to finish this meet and greet line. Honestly, she deserves the utmost respect. This has to stop. Well, yeah, yeah, it has to stop. But let's be perfectly honest. Twitch enabled this. So let's go back to the beginning.
Also, I was like,
Oh,
I'd
they
like to
still.
point out
You
because
on?
I've also seen this misconception pop up. The guy that is standing right there, right next to her, you're clearly speaking to her, and as you can see right there, she's signing something for him right there. A lot of people try to equate him as some sort of security guard. He's not. He's basically one of the people who lined up for the meet and greet.
The guy she's talking to right now,
Yes,
who she's clearly signing something to.
yes. For some reason, a lot of people are calling him a security guard.
Okay, so I can explain how this mistake happened. So in my hand, I have a Smith & Wesson SD40VE. On the right-hand side is written caution, capable of firing with magazine removed. That should tell
Okay.
you all you need to know. We live in a world where everything has to be explained to the most retarded, to the detriment of the not retarded. I was waiting for something to pop up because I really wanted to bring that up because I only just noticed that inscription on it yesterday. And I was like, this is fucking absurd. Oh my god. Yeah, of course your gun can fire without fucking like the magazine in it. Anyway. So yeah, anyone who says this is a fucking idiot. Because this guy is very clearly like a line, a person in the queue. Like at the front of the queue. So again, the security guards right here. And I have seen some people say, I have seen a couple people, they're not a lot, say that this guy should have done something. But let's be clear, this guy made it all the way to here, and the security guard who did see him come, like, not it didn't see him from as far away as he should have, didn't have time to react. This guy's not going to have time to react. He probably got stun locked when this happened. So,
A literal deer in the headlight situation.
yeah. Now, luckily, it looks like Emiru had the sense to push this fucker away from him, so he couldn't actually.
Well,
Huh?
as she says, like this isn't her first rodeo with a creep
Yeah, I mean,
getting this close to her.
actually, I was on the Twitter feed before this happened to find the most recent tweet she made about this issue, and yeah, apparently someone else like threatened her, but not related to this situation. Yeah, like this guy right here, you can tell just looking at him. This guy is fucking stun locked. He has no idea what's going on. And again, this guy took like 8 seconds between where he should have spotted him and then actually reacting. Again,
There's Henya right there.
yeah, huh?
There's
Oh
Henya
shit,
right
that
there where
that
your
is
mouth
Henya.
is.
So yeah, you know what? Fair enough. Now we have confirmation. It really was Henya. But yeah, again, if he had a knife
Yeah,
in it,
so
if he had a knife or anything else, he could have caused some major damage. How many times, like, if you really want to hurt someone, well, it's not even how many times. For example, I guess you could go in and do a stabbing spree. That would cause a lot of damage. But even a single like insertion of a knife, deep enough can be absolutely devastating. So again, there's a reason why they have security,
hell,
and
hell,
they just.
yeah, even if he didn't, even if he wanted to cause her serious harm but didn't have a weapon, he's basically an entire weight class over. It's like he could have done serious damage if he basically went for her neck.
Wouldn't even have to go for her neck.
I was
On
just
it,
using that as like a prime example.
yeah. I mean, wouldn't even have to go for the neck. A guy of decent size, especially a decent size difference, clock someone in the face. That could be fucking devastating too. So again, with his bare hands, this could have ended
And,
very badly. So
and even and it's like and look at his basically build right there. This is I wouldn't say that he's basically a gym bro, but he's clearly
it
not
doesn't
strong. He's clearly
it doesn't really matter. The force behind a punch is from kinetic linking. Like you're driving your mass into your fist So like there's a reason why we have weight classes because it turns out how
Yeah.
much you weigh
And what I'm
actually is
basically
really important.
saying, and what I'm basically saying is like, yeah, like no matter how you look at this, it's like there's really not much Emiru could have done against this dude.
Yeah. Um, I was originally gonna see if we could watch the Leaflet Azari uh video on it and the Pippa video on it, and we could provide our own commentary. Or do you think let's see. Do you think that would be a good idea? Just because we're not gonna sit and watch this entire thing right here, only just because as of right now, like we kind of started this late. Or do you want to just watch
True.
this and then comment on this? Like, how do you want to proceed? Because I know, like, because I know you're tired from the day before, from the day you had. So, would you rather watch the Pippa and the leaflet video, or would you rather watch this?
We can watch this, but I said you had her tweet up beforehand, right?
Yeah, this one.
Uh, yeah, it's like okay, it's kind of hard to see on your screen, but more or less, like there are some important things that she puts in here that we have said. Like number one, it's like her primary bodyguard is banned. Two, she was forced to do this show, meet and greet for her show, which props on her. She still put on the show, so I have to give her props that you get assaulted and you still go and perform the show.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
Like
commitment to the bit, right?
yeah, three as we said, it's like that security guard was hers, but Twitch tried to claim that it was theirs. Four, they said they were originally going to give them a 30-day ban, and then her manager had to actually force them to make it a permanent ban. Not sure how that's going to help whatsoever.
Also, that
Five,
that that brings up a point. How the fuck can they apply a 30-day ban if they don't know who the person is? So they already knew who this person was. Why
yeah.
didn't they call the cops?
Oh, yeah, actually, it gets worse because as a lot of people have been pointing out, and we've been seeing video and photo evidence of. They said that they kicked this guy out right after the situation, but he was still seen walking the convention without no issues and leaving peacefully.
Do you have any videos of that? That might be actually interesting to look at.
Let me see if I can find it. But but so that there's no dead air while I'm looking for it. You have anything else to say about this?
Well, another thing that popped to mind, um, and this is not related directly to the Emiru thing, but it's a thing that doesn't surprise me at all. So apparently, during the VTuber meet and greets, there was an issue where again, like with Emiru, who was told she can't do her thing unless she does the meet and greet, because if she doesn't do the meet and greet, the thing she had signed up for, like the actual event she was there for, would be canceled. The same thing happened to Chibidoki. So apparently, Chibidoki was trying to do something, and she was told that no, actually, it was the opposite with Chibidoki, where hers was cut short, her meet and greet, because Chibidoki has a history of extending things past their allotted time just because she actually wants her fans who've been waiting to talk to her to actually talk to her. And they cut her off so someone else could, start their meet and greet, which is, to be fair, it's entirely fair. She hasn't allotted time, and, if it's cutting into someone else, it's cutting into someone else. But the part that kind of makes me interested is they lied about the reason. They could have just said, look, I understand that this is unpleasant, but someone else has this time allotted. They're cutting into the time, so we had to turn her off. And yeah, it would have been a like unpleasant thing, but it's honest. It does explain why they would do why they had to turn her off, but instead they decided to lie about it. This lying thing happens all the time with Twitch. And this is why it's like I don't believe anything a Twitch representative says because half the time, and actually probably more than half the time, they're just actually being deceitful about it. Um, Another thing about this same con actually
All
is
right, I
that
sent you 2 videos that I found.
okay. Another thing about this same con, now that since I'm still thinking about it, is and we talked about this earlier, and again, it's not necessarily directly related to the Emiru thing, but I think it will probably make everything worse because I think we know how it's going to play out, and it's that apparently Chibidoki and you said it was what was it Henya that had their stuff apparently their gifts from a fan apparently thrown in the trash, and it was more than just them. Like it was a bunch of VTubers who were being given gifts, and then those gifts were being thrown in the trash. And apparently, one of them was because one of them had the reasoning of, well, we don't know what's in here, so for safety reasons, we can't pass this gift on to you. I mean, granted, with Camila, you know, we all remember the tracker that was placed in a gift for her that led to a stalker trying to break into her house and then her having to move. But at the same time, I don't know. Something about the whole situation just rings I don't believe you. And I think the it's just a pretense for them to steal the gifts, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
Like
this could potentially be an entire schizo moment of us, but yeah, when they said that they basically threw out the gifts for basically every single VTuber there, it was like I honestly don't believe them. It just sounds to me like they actually just stole the stuff and were claiming that they just threw it out.
yeah.
And this isn't the first time we heard of Twitch doing this.
I mean again, like if they're willing to lie about basic shit like this, I don't really trust them. And when you told me Mizutamari had the same rat that I did, because I didn't tell anyone about this rat, I just assumed that they were stealing shit, and then I found out other people are just are assuming that they're probably stealing shit. I'm like, I fucking I I had a moment because I was like, oh my god, maybe I'm not actually crazy. Maybe if I am crazy, there's people crazy with me, but maybe I'm not crazy. All right. So that's just my thing. It's not technically related to Emiru thing, but I would not be surprised if it turns out that Twitch staff or Twitch volunteers were stealing gifts from VTubers that way. I can't prove it, and like this is just a rat, you know, just me being conspiratorial. But I have a sneaking suspicion we might find out about that if Emiru takes us to court, which I hope to God she does. I hope she takes this to court. And to be fair, I don't put it past Twitch from shadow banning her account if she tries to take them to court. Uh, but
Yeah, like this also kind of brings in like a huge problem with this thing with the whole entire notion of oh just take these people to court. They're causing all this stuff issues. Like first of all, Twitch is owned by Amazon, so you're basically trying to go to war with one of the biggest corporations out there, with one of the richest men alive. Secondly, for people like Emiru, like this company is her employer. It's like the people who she'll be taking to court is her boss. So it's like even if she managed to win that case, she basically she's basically burning the bridge with the company, and so if she takes them to court, wins, they're basically going to find some sort of excuse in their terms of service to either lock her out of her account or completely delete her account, and so she'll need to find a new place to
so
actually.
so I would argue it's actually worse because at least with the boss, like if you with an actual employer, because to be perfectly honest, the relationship between YouTube and Twitch and the creators is not that of a traditional employer.
which
But
I which I
yeah,
will say is like as much issues as I have with MatPat, that's an entirely different conversation for an entirely different day. One thing I will actually give him props for is that him going into politics, this is one of the things he's actually trying to advocate the most for, like trying to unblur
clarify the
this
law.
line that, yeah, clarify the law to protect streamers.
Yeah, or content creators in general. Yeah, because they're not
Yes,
technically like. they're not technically employees. Like they don't have the same protections against their employer from against retaliation from the person paying for them that an employer or that employee would have. Uh, so like Twitch absolutely could retaliate against Emiru by just straight up completely blacklisting her from the search engine, from all kinds of shit. And what's no one's gonna be able to do anything about it because there's not exactly a legal recourse that Emiru could actually go through to do this, especially not with again. We recently found out that like YouTube was apparently under the Biden administration, and let's be fair, probably under the Obama administration too, shadow banning, accounts and actively, censoring accounts and what would you say, illicitly terminating accounts. It would be illicit because they were basically acting in the role of a state actor. I talked about this a little bit actually in a previous video. If I can remember which one it was, I will link that video. But yeah, it's not like these platforms don't have a demonstrated history of this. And then if you lose your source of income, well, you have to pay for your lawyer. You have to pay for ongoing legal proceedings. So again, that just bleeds you dry, so you can't really proceed with the court proceedings. So yeah. But yeah, I do hope Emiru gets a good lawyer and fucking annihilates Twitch on this. So since we're already here, let's get this video. Well, we found a better view of the guy who assaulted Emiru. He seemed to walk away alone after doing so. Yeah, you can see that in the video.
Yeah, I got a hashtag give it back. So, seeing meet and greet was pretty cool, though.
Hold on. Okay. How far back can you see this guy?
Yeah, I got a hashtag.
There he is. So.
Yep.
So he enters the frame literally in the first second.
Yeah, I got a hashtag give it back. So, seeing meet and greet was pretty cool, though. That was fun.
Yeah, he
Saw
just
the homies back there. Dude, I can't imagine what Joe was doing this whole time.
Yeah, he just like straight up walked out of there. But again, like apparently Twitch has added, banned Emiru's last security guy because he held him down so the cops could get there. So I guess they were under the impression that he had to leave, like they had to let him go. Okay, well that sounds like copyrighted music. Footage appears to show the man who assaulted Emiru walking out the front door casually. Oh, yep, that's him.
There he is.
So he enters the frame again at the 1 second mark. And he just fucking leaves.
A casual stroll.
Was this held? Was this held in California?
Yes.
Okay, that explains a lot. California strikes again. Yeah, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like anyone's particularly happy about this.
I mean, we have evidence of a woman who got assaulted, and this is the one time the Me Too movement could have actually been beneficial, but it's crickets.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, there's actually 3 videos. Looks like he went around the entrance to the meet and greet and around any sort of security.
You said fucking 7? Did someone say 7? Do I have 7 minutes?
Oh, well, luckily they got the arrow to help us, right?
Oh, yeah. They just said fucking 6.
Oh, he's all the way back.
7? Did someone say 7? Do I have 7 minutes? How much time, actually?
It's less than 10 minutes.
Wait, are we actually cooked? It's over, guys. Stream is over. We gotta head back to the, Oh, yeah. They just said fucking 7? Did someone...
So, I mean, in all fairness, this guy didn't realize he was, recording the beginning of a crime, so I can't really get on him for, not capturing the whole thing. But yeah, you can see him.
Do I have 7 minutes? How much time, actually? It's less than 10 minutes. Wait, are we actually cooked?
Let's go back here. You can see the guy enter into frame and then walk here.
They just said fucking 6,
Yeah.
7? Did someone say 7? Do I have 7 minutes? How much time, actually? It's less than 10 minutes. Wait.
Yeah, so he's past these crowds, and it looks like he's about to cut through all of these meet and greets, or either that, or he's going to go behind the meet and greets, neither of which should have been permitted. Like, how many is that?
At any other con, this thing would have been impossible to do. It's like to cut through so many meet and greets in order to get onto stage for someone and assault them. At any other type of cons, there have been so many layers of protection to prevent something like this.
There's 13, it looks like, venues here. So if Emiru is this one over here, that would have meant that he would have to have cut through 12 of these. I don't know where Emiru is per se, but yeah, that's kind of fucking absurd.
It looks to be the third one.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the last con we went to was, you know, the one where they decided to fucking pussyfoot out of being an anime convention in its truest form because of the normies. But like when I almost walked into a, granted it wasn't cordoned off, but when I almost walked into an area where apparently you weren't supposed to go, I got immediately stopped and I was like, oh, my bad. I genuinely didn't know. It's like, oh yeah, we gotta we're gonna cordon this place off. I would not have been. So I was like, yeah, like how the fuck does this guy just mosey on through?
Yeah, it's like that was me. And again, it looks like that Emiru is the third or fourth one, so that's 2 or 3 different type of meet and greets. This dude just walks right past, beelining towards her.
Yeah, so it's, again, this is fucking ridiculous. So now I guess
like, he does that entire beeline through 2 or 3 different other meet and greets to assault her, and not a single security guard caught it.
Yeah, it's fucking absurd, to be perfectly honest. I don't know. I mean, I could believe that Twitch maybe didn't hire security at all, and maybe all the security were personal hires by the staff, not the staff, but the clients, or just volunteers, which is fair. I mean, but still, it's just ridiculous. So you said you wanted to watch the video again?
Yeah, sure, we can do it.
Okay. No, I was asking because again, I don't know what your time frame is. Because if you can't do this, we can. Well, the video is like 50 minutes long. If you don't want to do that, we can do. Huh?
Yeah, we can do this one.
Okay.
Wake the up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Now, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't know what the wake the fuck up samurai thing is, because I don't think I've ever actually seen an Emiru video outside of this. This is obviously pre-watched, by the way. Right? But...
I mean, I heard of her beforehand. I think she was one of the people that Jaden Animation said that people keep confusing the two together.
This was one of the people, yes.
But yeah, other than that, I basically, before this incident happened, I basically knew nothing about her.
Yeah, she's just not. She doesn't make content that like would actually be on my radar. So it's like I know who this is in a very general sense. If you were to ask me anything about this person, I couldn't fucking tell you anything other than like she knows Jaden Animations. That's about it.
Okay, so
and she's friends with Tecton.
Yeah, so I just did a quick Google search. Apparently, the Wake the Fuck Up Samurai is the cyberpunk reference. It looks to be like when you meet the character Keanu Reeves plays for the first time, he basically tells you that.
Oh, I wouldn't fucking know that because I didn't play that game.
Neither did I.
I'm sorry, but Edge Runners, while it was a good fucking show, It didn't make me hate Atom Smasher enough to want to kill him in the game, to be perfectly honest. I saw how buggy the game was, and I was like, I'm good.
No,
that
I'll give them credit. I mean, apparently they basically did at this point before the Edge Runners show came on fix most of the bugs. But yeah, like you kind of lost my interest like when the game first came out. You're not getting it back that easily.
Yeah. It reminds me of that Flork of Cows meme. It's like, that's it. Graphics in video games are banned until fun is the point again. Fair enough. Every year I'm like, yeah. Graphics as like a selling point in video games is a mistake. Anyway, so that we don't go over too much, let's just watch the video, I guess.
Okay, so first of all, you guys will have to forgive me because I'm not meant to be doing streams like this. I'm meant to be playing fucking dress up in my room, playing video games, okay?
Yeah, she's a cosplayer, right?
Yes, that's like when looking at basically some stuff for her, I've been seeing her in a bunch of outfits, and yeah, she's a cosplayer. I will admit, she does look good inside many of them. Now, am I going to watch her content? Probably not.
Yeah, I was like, I don't exactly follow a lot of. Actually, I don't follow any cosplayers.
I did not want to have to do like a stream like this. Like, it feels like I'm doing like a fucking press conference or something. But first of all, hope you guys are all feeling okay. Sorry you had to see that. You know what I'm supposed to be doing right now, actually? I'm supposed to be going over my run-up show for my TwitchCon show, which I am still doing, by the way, because of all the work that the production staff and the cosplayers in it put into it. It's not their fault that happened. I'm still gonna do it. But yeah, I don't even know where to fucking start. I don't know if you guys can see this. I wrote fucking notes for this because there's so much stuff that I feel like needs to be talked about, which is also why I was very aggressive in my tweet earlier today, which is, I mean, you guys know me. I am never like that, but I just feel like, in a way, it's my responsibility, you know what I mean? Because it's not just about me, like, this could have happened to anyone. Honestly, for all we know, this could have already happened to someone.
I mean, again, I don't remember if she brings it up in this one or if other people were the ones who bring it up, but yeah, it's like, didn't some dude get sexually assaulted at a previous TwitchCon when like someone walked up and licked him in the nipple?
I think that was last TwitchCon. I don't remember the dude's name. Then again, I'm not good with names.
Yeah, but, I mean, fair enough.
And again, it's like, it's like, as they mentioned, like a whole bunch of people, mostly women streamers, kept saying they are not going to this TwitchCon because they do not feel safe because of what's happened in previous TwitchCons, which led to the president making that entire statement saying, and again,
safety is our first priority. Fucking no, it's not, right?
and that was the day before this assailant happened. Like, I think it was like 12 hours before or something like that, and then this happened.
I mean,
but the whole entire reason he made that post is because so many women and streamers were basically saying they will not be coming to this con because they do not feel safe.
I mean, as a dude, I wouldn't go to this con because I don't think the security is up to par, to be perfectly honest. I could only imagine if I was like, female, I would definitely not want to go to this fucking thing. And that was before this happened. But that's just because, again, Twitch has a history of doing really demonstrably stupid, making a series of demonstrably stupid decisions. Like, again, in Pipkin Pippa's response to the Twitch situation, not the one that's going on now, because apparently she's talking about that right now, but the one she already released, she went through a whole list of severe lapses in judgment that got people like that could have gotten Twitch in some really big legal trouble. Actually, might have. I don't know if the one where the lady miscarried because of a fucking poorly planned obstacle course that she wasn't appropriately briefed on before participating. I don't know if that ever went to court. Hopefully it did, and hopefully they had to pay out the fucking wazoo for that because a kid died. I can't. I don't know if I don't remember if it was because she had to get an abortion because of a surgery she needed because she shattered her fucking spine, or if she just miscarried because of the damage that she incurred to her body. But either way, because of the direct incompetence of Twitch, a child died.
Oh, and I probably need to refine it later, but and I'm not sure if you have seen it, but apparently the clip is actually out there of that situation, and the guy running the obstacle course goes up to her and just basically goes to the crowd, "She's okay."
Find me that video. I would love to react to that on stream if you can.
A small streamer, and someone just wasn't filming it. Which, okay.
Pause it one more time.
You already found it?
No. But what I will say is...
Actually, you know what? That video is probably not going to be anywhere because, again, it depicts a very serious injury. So, actually, thinking about it, one, I probably wouldn't be able to react to it on Twitch anyway. And two, partly because, one, it would make Twitch look bad, and two, it actually probably does violate terms of service. But two, it's also probably not anywhere on YouTube either, or Rumble, because it would violate both of their terms of service. So...
But as I was basically saying, it's like we have all these other type of cons come here, and basically, yeah, people do preach safety. This is the one con that whenever it comes around, they have an entire PTA about PS and like basically public announcement statement that happen that all these streamers do, who talking about how to keep yourself safe from people spiking your drinks.
Oh yeah, you know what? There was that whole roofie party that happened a couple years ago in TwitchCon.
Yeah, and I'm saying it's like this is the one con that whenever it comes up, they always bring up that PTA. Not a single other convention has that.
Like, I would honestly feel like it would be safer to go to an Anthrocon than it would be to go to a TwitchCon, to be perfectly honest. A furry convention filled with, to be fair, not all furries are perverts, but a furry convention notorious for this kind of bullshittery. And I think, honestly, if you were to compare the two, I have a sneaking suspicion the Anthrocon might actually be safer than the TwitchCon.
Which really goes to show how bad this place is.
Yeah, that's just me giving a brief impression, though. I don't have the numbers to back that up, but I would genuinely love it if someone actually went in, like, compiled the data for that. That would actually be pretty interesting. And it would be really funny if it actually turned out Twitch was less safe than an Anthrocon.
Start this by saying, shout out to the guy who filmed it and put it on Twitter.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. The fucking morons in the comment section being like, oh, you didn't have to put this online on her, like, timeline for her to see again. Yeah, he fucking did. It's evidence of a crime.
Yeah, it's like, place it someplace where she can easily get it in case she needs it for any legal reasons, which hopefully she does.
Yeah, but again, as we talked about, we live in a world... we live in a world where you have to explain to the retarded at the detriment of the not retarded.
Because last night after this happened, I was thinking, like, fuck, like, I have to talk about this. Like, people need to know that this happened. Like, how am I gonna do that? And then someone happened to post it on Twitter. So thank fucking God I didn't have to figure that out myself. Which, okay, like I said, this is gonna be a mess because I'm not meant to be doing these kinds of streams.
Understandable.
I don't think that Twitch would have put out an official statement if that clip wasn't posted and going viral.
Oh, certainly not.
And even after the fact that that clip was posted and going viral, as far as I know, the other people who had meet and greets today were not reached out to ask if they wanted extra security or if they even wanted to cancel their meet and greet. Like, maybe some people were, but I know for a fact Extra Emily wasn't. My personal manager made sure that she had extra security. No one reached out to her. Don't know about everyone, but...
Again, like, after a situation like this, you think you would want to touch base with your other talents that, you know, to ensure that they're safe, potentially offer them something to ensure better security, because apparently there was just a systemic failure of, you know, all the safety measures, if any, were in place at all anyway, to let this happen in the first place. So the fact that they didn't reach out to anyone, since everyone has the same safety measures presumably in place, indicates that they didn't really see this to be all that big of an issue. And also, Dan Clancy... Huh?
It's as if they see these streamers as nothing but numbers, not actual people.
I mean, obviously they don't. But there was also the thing where Pippa was the one who pointed this out. That what the CEO of Twitch says after this is fucking astounding. Where he's like, well, you can block people. It's like, my guy, that you can do that online. You can't do that IRL. It's like, you are fucking retarded.
What do you think? We have the Invisible Woman's power to create and to generate force fields to push them away?
Susan Storm has entered the chat, right? No, I'm sorry, but we don't have that ability, right?
I would love to have that ability, but sadly, I live in a world without magical powers.
I don't know.
Pleb.
I don't know that I would want to live in a world with magic powers like that, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, what the CEO said after this is just fucking insane. And if we have time, if we have time after we see this video, we might watch the Pipkin Pippa video so we can talk about that a little bit, because she has some she and Leaflet have really good insights into a lot of this.
I know that for a fact. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning, because I want to be able to run through everything before the show starts. The show starts in a fucking hour. Okay, my notes are a fucking mess. It looks like a schizo board.
I mean, to be fair, it would be unfair to expect her to have a very, like, clear and linear thought pattern after all this happened, considering that this literally just happened. She's probably very stressed out at the moment, so...
And not only that, but the fact that she's doing all this, getting all this word out, and
she's still gonna do her show. Yeah, the commitment to the bit and, like, actually honoring the fact that, like, people paid for the show. Absolute respect for this woman, to be perfectly honest.
Agreed. It just kind of shows, it just makes the whole entire situation so much worse that all this is happening. Unless she basically somehow manages to take them to court and win, justice will not be served.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I think she talks about this later in the video, but apparently she was told that if she didn't do the meet and greet, she couldn't do her show. So her show being performed in the first place was predicated on her going to this meet and greet, which is where all this happened in the first place.
But yeah, again, thank you to the guy that put it on Twitter. Thank you to the people that talked about it. Because otherwise, I don't know if anything would have been done or would have been taken seriously. Straight up. So, I'm just gonna go through, from my perspective, what happened, what I saw, the order of events. So, I was doing my meet and greet, and I've seen people saying that it was an obligation given to me, like to be a featured creator. And
oh shit, she's talking about it right now.
Which is true. I was told that I had to do a meet and greet. But as far as I know, there's some people that canceled. Regardless, I didn't cancel. I thought it was going to be fine. So, I show up at 4. I'm doing my meet and greet. This happened about 30 minutes into my meet and greet. So, I was probably only like 20 to 30% done with my meet and greet. I was just taking a picture with someone else, like completely normal, nice guy. And then I see out of the corner of my eye, there's a guy walking around the side of the meet and greet, and he crosses in front of the meet and greet of the person to the left of me, which is a VTuber. So he's able to walk up and in front of another streamer's meet and greet, and then he walks up to me, and he's like walking with a purpose, you know what I mean? And he grabs me, but I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like, but in my head, I'm like, it seems like he's supposed to be here, and then he leans in like he's gonna tell me something, So in my head, I'm like, maybe it's like TwitchCon staff like coming to let me know something, because like sometimes that'll happen where you're at an event and someone will like come up to like let you know something, you know what I mean? But I'm still like freaked out because he grabbed me. That's not normal. And then he grabs my face and he leans in and lips puckered tries to kiss me, and I start screaming. You can't hear it in the clip, but I'm fucking screaming my head off. And then my security, Twitch's security, is like nowhere near me, nowhere to be found. I can see them, but they don't do anything. My security jumps up and shoves the guy away from me and is like, get the fuck out of here. And he's allowed to walk away and leave. Yeah, so...
I mean, yeah, we did literally see videos of him actually just straight up walking out of the convention. Like, there was no effort. There was no effort to stop this guy.
Like, I wish that they had timestamps on at least the one when showing that he was leaving, because it's like
I mean, to be fair, we don't know if that was like immediately after or if he was there for hours afterwards. Like, we don't know that information.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, because it's already bad if he immediately leaves, but if he didn't immediately leave and he spent more time at the con and then left, that's even worse.
By a tremendous amount.
And like, I wouldn't put it past Twitch to just let that happen, to be perfectly honest. Because again, they didn't provide any meaningful security in the first place. It wasn't on their mind.
Yeah.
Then after this point, I did not see a lot of what happened here. This is just based off what people in the line told me. My friend Bonnie, who was there, told me, and Melissa, my manager, told me. So the woman who moved me away from the meet and greet was my personal manager. That was not Twitch staff. No one in Twitch staff came up to me to like see what was going on. My manager and Bonnie moved me to the back, and they're like hugging me and being like, do you want to finish your meet and greet, basically. And I was back there for like a minute, and I was like, you know what, like I want to finish it because like of all these people here that, you know, they're just nice, normal people.
Again, I don't know anything about Emiru, but considering this is basically my introduction to the woman, I definitely do like this woman. Like, after this happened, she had every opportunity to say, nah, fuck this, I'm out. And she just straight up...
And majority of fans, I hope, would have actually understood if she basically decided to end the meet and greet right then and there.
Yeah, but then she went back and she actually continued the meet and greet for everyone who behaved themselves. It's like, yeah, you know what? I respect this woman. I genuinely actually respect this woman. Like, good Lord, man. You didn't have to, but you said, for the people who behaved themselves, even though I have no obligation to do this, I'm still going to do this.
Yeah, it's a very commendable type of act she did right there.
Yeah, again, she was not required to do that, ethically or by, I guess, because I'm pretty sure could have told Twitch, no, fuck off. This just happened to me because you didn't do your job. She wasn't required, to go back there under any, pretense, under any system. And she did anyway. So I was like, yeah, again, mad respect for this one.
And I go back out there, and still there's no one from Twitch there. And the poor guy that I was taking the picture with originally, he's like fucking mortified, and he's like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, he's stun locked.
And again, no one from Twitch there. I say to this guy, I'm like, I'm sorry you had to see that, and he's like, no, like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Why am I having to tell the TwitchCon attendees and my fans, sorry you had to see that, and not like someone from Twitch or Twitch security? Anyway, so I didn't see this. This is just what my friend and my manager were telling me. The Twitch security kind of got together after that, and we were like, wait, what happened? Oh, I didn't even see what happened, haha. And just
yeah, that's a problem.
Talking about something else.
A major one.
It's like, okay.
And again, if this is accurate reporting, they don't even care that this just happened, that this is technically their responsibility. and they just go to bullshitting about something else. That's fucking ridiculous.
Security like these, who needs assailants?
with again, this is like this is again the shark spotters. This is worse than nothing.
That's the events of what happened, just to like line all that up. But I didn't talk at all about the aftermath of all of this at all, and I don't think anyone knows this, save for like maybe some streamers that I'm friends with that came to spend time with me or that I talked to last night. Whew, okay. I finished the meet and greet, and I was escorted back to my hotel by my one security guard. Oh, and also, by the way, I've seen clips, people bringing up clips of me talking about how my previous favorite security guard was permabanned from TwitchCon because at a previous TwitchCon 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, there was a stalker and he held him by the arm until police got there. And because of that, he was indefinitely banned from TwitchCon. Like from all of TwitchCon, not just the venue, because that was in Las Vegas.
You would imagine that if he got into any kind of legal trouble, she would have brought that up during the during this whole conversation. So it doesn't sound like he did anything that was actually illegal. He just basically broke Twitch TOS when the Twitch TOS for the con apparently is putting people at risk.
Yeah, again, this is an entirely baffling situation that any other con not backed up by Amazon would have actually become a huge scandal, and everyone who basically allowed something like this to happen at the convention would have been replaced at minimum. But the fact that this is Twitch, who is backed by Amazon, like, I don't really see any type of changes coming from this.
Yeah, honestly, I don't either. Twitch is, in a very real sense, too big to fail. Not because we need Twitch, but because again, Twitch is backed by Amazon, and all of these companies that do the same thing that Twitch and YouTube do, they lose money. They don't make money, and they have to be subsidized by a larger corporation in order to actually make money. So, no.
Anyway, that just a side note. Okay, man, I wrote down a lot of shit here. Okay, can I just also say, what you guys are seeing here is character development. I've always been the person who never says shit. Like, I just want everyone to have fun and for things to go well. Why am I the person who has to do this?
Because you're the only one who people would listen to. Again, there was a guy who was sexually assaulted. I think it was like, you said it was last year, right?
I think it was. I can't be too sure about that.
Yeah, it was either a year or two ago where a guy on the TwitchCon was sexually assaulted. Everyone knew about it, but no one really took it. But no one really took it seriously.
If I remember correctly, there's even video of it.
I mean, probably, but yeah, but no one took it seriously because it was a dude who was being sexually assaulted. It just, point of fact, there is just this thing where if it happens to a woman, it is just honestly more serious to the general community than if it happens to a guy. I mean, it's not right, but it should be absolutely abhorrent if it happens to either or. But again, the only way that this would have had any kind of like oomph behind it is if it happened to a woman and it just happened to be you. So it's not that it had to be you, it's just that it wouldn't have been like, it wouldn't have had any real push or impact if it had happened to, for example, me. Just point of fact, even if I had Emiru's like following numbers, if it happened to me, it wouldn't have it would not have been anywhere nearly as impactful as if it happened to her.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, which is a sad thing of the world we live in. So it's like, this needed to happen. As sad as it sounds, this needed to happen to a female. And while it sucks that was her, it's actually quite good to happen to someone with such a huge following, which means the word can be spread a lot quicker.
Yeah, because again, like, it wouldn't have because again, if it happened to either of us, it wouldn't. Even if we had large followings, nothing would have fucking happened. Again, like I it carries extra like importance to the community because again, she happens to be a woman and this happened to her. That's not like a mark against. That's not to like delegitimize what happened to her because what happened to her was actually bad. But it just again the way people weight different activities varies based on who it actually happens to. It shouldn't be that way, but you know, it just in practice that is how things work.
We live in a society.
Anyway, after I'm escorted back to my hotel, I let some of my friends know they come to my hotel to see me and spend time with me, like make sure I'm okay and everything.
Actually, hold on. And it's the thing where, again, with Kirsha on, there was that one example of where Kirsha was like, "Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to be the one to do this?" And it was the exact same thing. It was like the reason you have to do that thing, Kirsha, is because as a woman, you're the only one who people are going to actually listen to about that particular issue. Because if, like, again, if I had your numbers and your charisma, and I were to say anything about it, nothing would fucking happen about it. It's just the way it works.
And then
even the tumbleweeds that'll be flooding the field would just roll away.
Okay, my manager, I've contacted the police. They're gonna come talk to you about pressing charges, etc. They're trying to find the guy. They haven't found him. I'm like, what? Anyway.
They're trying to find the guy. Again, I guess the guy couldn't hold him there because the last guy who did like a takedown and then hold for the cops to get there got permabanned. So security can't do that apparently. But yeah, the video we watched before this bears it out. He just walked out of the convention.
Yeah, and again, this is also why I wish that they had a timestamp for at least the one that was exiting, because we have no idea how long he was in the con before he left.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been immediately after that, like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. Or he could have loitered around the place. Like, we don't fucking know. I don't exactly trust Twitch where they say that, like, again, we tried to find him. Like, I mean, did you? You seem to know who it was when you said that you'd give him a 30-day ban.
Yeah, it's like... this entire situation is just so messed up.
Yeah.
So, at some point while I'm with my friends, a police officer comes and talks to me, interviews my manager, talks to my Twitch partner manager, who, by the way, she's so sweet. Like, she didn't do anything wrong here. All of that happens, and then I'm complaining to my friends. I'm like, the fuck do I do here, guys? Like, I have to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, like, don't worry about that right now. And then suddenly Wake's like, wait, why is my Discord saying hope Emmy's okay? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I guess the clip got posted. Again, thank God someone was filming, because otherwise I don't think Twitch would have said anything.
Oh, they definitely would not have.
So after that, I start getting a lot of messages. I'm responding to people, and my manager comes back to me, and she's upset. She's like, okay, I've been talking to Twitch people, and I'm really upset because I noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, I asked them, you know, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days. What?
Honestly, a very measured reaction to that suggestion. A very measured reaction to that mention. But again, the only way that would even be possible is if they know who the guy is. So why haven't they? So why didn't they report him to the police?
And even then, it's like I had to question on if they even know who the person is, because there are actual clips there that's showing that the wristband that allow you to get and gain access into this thing, even the machine doesn't read your pass, they're still letting people in.
Okay, I didn't know about that. I knew that they weren't vetting +1s, but if they're just letting people in because like the machine malfunctioned, that's fucking ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
it under normal circumstances, if your badge can't be read, you go to the customer help desk.
yeah, but the badge doesn't read. They just let you through. It was still like it's like, and it's even more infuriating when you realize that these are the exact same badges from last year. So you so maybe this person didn't even buy a ticket for this one. Maybe he had a ticket from last year, or he's using a buddy's.
Actually, considering how many viewers were botted across Twitch, is it at all possible that they did that to boost their con numbers? To allow people who didn't pay to get into the convention?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but at the same time, that is one of the most stupidest ideas I have ever heard of.
I mean, allowing your viewers to bot as not viewers, but your talents to bot as heavily as Twitch has been doing is a really stupid thing to do. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them.
And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a fuck if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here. So they change it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch.
Legit crash out.
Right, a very justifiable crash out.
Also, later the same night, I'm not gonna drop names here because I wasn't there, so I didn't see it. But I had multiple people tell me that key Twitch representatives last night were out partying. Okay. Oh, also another detail. Sorry, my lines are all crazy here. My Twitch didn't approach my manager to talk to their head of security. It took them 2 hours to approach her to talk about what happened. And by then, she had already talked to police and called a lawyer on her own. My manager, Melissa.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that's why they went to talk to her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the only reason they did that is because they found out, oh shit, she's talking to police, and it looks like she's calling someone about this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only reason that they went to talk to her. But
Yeah,
even if that's not the case, even if they had fully intended to talk to her, let's just assume very unreasonably charitably that they had always intended to talk to her. It just took them, an hour or two in order to get to talking to her. Why did it take you 2 hours to do that? It almost sounds like they were discussing before they discussed with you what they could do to minimize the situation, instead of checking base with you to figure out what the hell is going on in the first place.
Yeah, it's like
So
they basically just set up damage control beforehand, which again, the most dumbest ways of damage control, a 30-day ban, and you still don't know who this guy is. How are you going to give him the 30-day ban?
Which again is the reason why I was like, okay, maybe they do know who this is, but it's also, again, they could have just been lying about that. All kinds of shit, again, Twitch lies about.
At this point in time,
And they
like,
showed her a photo.
Like at this point in time, it's like just because of how wild this thing is, I don't believe this, but it could come out that this person might be a member of Twitch staff, and I wouldn't be surprised about it. Just how crazy these situations have been coming lately.
I mean, they did have that one person who thought they were a deer, as a member of staff at one point.
We live in a society, people.
Right?
Of the guy that I believe a fan took, by the way. A fan took a photo of him, not one of their security guards. They're like, oh yeah, here's his photo. We're like gonna find him. He still had his badge and his wristband and everything. The guy. So, yeah, I really feel like a lot of this process wouldn't have happened if it weren't for my manager advocating for me so hard. Which, again... I'll get to that later. I'll keep going here. So they also showed my manager some security footage of the area, and the guy was able... He was waiting for there to be a gap in security, and there was. He was able to walk through the side, not through like the 2 lanes of meet and greet people who had signed up and been like background checked for my meet and greet.
Okay, why was there a gap in security? Why wasn't the schedule set up to account for there being a gap in security?
Also, with a major blender like this and other stuff that we've been hearing about with their blendering, it's like, I have the question: did they do a background check on these people?
Well, no. Okay, so apparently, the +1s were not background checked by admission.
No, I
So,
meant basically the people who went into the meet and greet. She just said that they did a background check on the people who went to the meet and greet.
Oh, I don't. Again, I have no idea. I mean, as you were saying, apparently there's some suggestion that people whose badges were being erroneous. Oh, there's some suggestion that, again, as you were saying, that people were being let in even when their badges weren't being read by the badge reader. So the Q would it be a barcode or a QR code that they're using? I don't know. I've never been to TwitchCon. They use a barcode?
Yeah, they use a barcode.
Okay. So yeah, I would not be surprised if that actually was true, then that wouldn't surprise me. It's like, oh yeah, they didn't, by definition, they didn't check everyone before they were going to this.
He was able to just walk through because there just wasn't like consistent security there. Oh my gosh. And then so yeah, that's basically my day yesterday. And then today, this morning, I was told that Amazon flew in their global head of something to redesign the whole process and security of the con for the rest of the convention. Why wasn't there someone like that here already? Or like they didn't do that beforehand? Like, hello? I'm sorry.
You get to compensate.
So yeah, they I guess they know that they fucked up really bad if they're flying in their Amazon's global head. And also, I want to make it clear so that people understand this. I am so lucky and privileged, okay? Do you know how much I spent on security to be able to come to this event in the first place? Like, but I'm not just talking about yesterday, I'm talking about my security for like my RV trip that I did with my friends and stuff. I spent over $10,000. Some people who stream on Twitch don't even make $10,000 in a year. What the fuck are they supposed to do? Like, if you watch the clip, the security guard who pushes the guy away is my security. The woman who pulls me to the back, my manager. If you're a small streamer and you don't have those resources, or someone in your line's not filming, what the fuck do you do? No one would have known.
And superpowers.
Like, it's actually fucking insane. Like, I'm genuinely angry. Like, I am not an angry person. Like, it's just ridiculous. And like, honestly, I genuinely think there have been other people who have been sexually assaulted, groped, like, who fucking knows, worse, at these conventions, and just nobody knows.
I mean, again, we did talk about that case. Yeah, the guy who had his nipple licked by a fucking guest. And by guest, I mean like a con goer at a previous TwitchCon. So that's one guy who was sexually assaulted, and it was a guy. And then she's talking about worse. It's like, yeah, there was that one kid who died because of that obstacle course. You know, the one where the one that was miscarried, or either miscarried or aborted because of the injury. You know, the mom sustained. That again, that's a child who died. So yeah, worse has happened.
And again, it just baffles me that basically TwitchCon is known or has been known for quite a long time for these situations. Like again, none of this stuff is actually private. We actually again, and there's PTAs basically warning people about these things when it comes to TwitchCon, and it's like at any other con, this would have been shutdown worthy scandal.
I think the word you're looking for is PSA.
Yeah, PSA. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Me fail English? That's impossible.
That's not fair enough.
Because, like I
but
said,
again, it's like any other con. This would have been in con ending worthy type of scandal. But for Twitch, it's just a drop in the bucket.
It's literally just a regular TwitchCon, yeah.
They didn't post any kind of announcement, weren't letting other streamers with similar events as me, similar meet and greets know, until there was like a viral clip. And by the way, they can't even mention my name in it. Thank you guys. Thank you. And okay, hold on. Let me pull up what they wrote, because that was another thing that was crazy to wake up to. Alright, let me read this. The safety and security of all those attending TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high-profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply unsettling. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement event security were on site. That's a lie. That's literally a lie. And responded to the incident. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they're banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in-person events. Okay, like, no one cares about online. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team, that's true, and per our standard protocols, continue to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations. We've increased security at the meet and greet attendee check-in point, and we'll have additional security personnel surrounding participating streamers. If you've RSVP'd for a meet and greet, please note that we're unable to accommodate +1s for the remainder of the event. You know why they said that? They only thought about that because of Melissa, my manager. She said, were you vetting people coming through the line? They said, oh yeah, everyone had to sign up, and they get background checks, but they're allowed to bring a +1. Well, are there +1s background checked? No! Melissa was like, okay guys,
Our finest
Twitch
people.
has 0 tolerance
Right.
for harassment or accident inhibit the safety
Fucking
and security of the
ridiculous.
community. Yeah, yeah, I don't even know, like, I'm just tired, guys, like,
Justifiably.
I'm just so tired of...
She was probably already taxed because of the things she was doing, you know, as someone setting up an event and doing a meet and greet. And then she has to deal with this on top of it. Yeah, I could imagine she's tired. That would be shocking if she wasn't, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, how is Snorlax pass out asleep on the road more security than Twitch?
Right. Again, it's the fucking shark spotters. It's literally less than nothing. It makes you feel as if you're secure, but then it doesn't actually do anything.
I've just had so many things happen, and like, you know, stuff just happens, like, especially when you're like a creator, or like a girl creator in particular. But I just feel like I've been failed so many times, or lied to so many times, and I'm always like, you know, it's okay, we'll figure it out. You should have figured it out already. You should have fucking figured it out already. Oh my god.
Not 10 seasons later.
So yeah.
Yeah, wasn't there a streamer, Grimmy, like, who got murdered by, like, can you look up the circumstances behind the Grimmy case? Because people keep comparing Grimmy to Emiru, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I have no idea who this person is. But yeah, apparently that's the go-to everyone's comparing this to, is like, she could have ended up like Grimmy. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I don't know who this person is, but yeah, I mean, if you're saying that, like, she could have ended up, you know, being killed because of this, yeah, I mean, fairly fucking easily. That's why she was supposed to have security, but the security wasn't up to par.
That's basically, unless I'm forgetting something, a rundown of everything. But yeah, it's fucking insane. And, I mean, I'm not usually the type of person to talk about this stuff, but it's like, well, did I lie about anything? No. Like, what are you gonna be mad at me for telling, like, the things that y'all did wrong?
Probably. Twitch probably will.
So another thought that I...
Huh?
Are they referring to Christina Grimmie?
I don't fucking know. Apparently it was a streamer or a content creator who got murdered.
Well, because I tried looking up for a Grimmie streamer, and they said that there's no one in there, and that all the Grimmies who are streamers there's no record of anyone dying. But it says here that what they may be confused, the confusion may arise from Christina Grimmie, a singer and YouTuber who tragically got murdered on June 10th, 2016, after a concert in Orlando, Florida. Shot dead by a fan during a meet and greet.
I think this is exactly who they're talking about.
Okay. So yeah, she's not a streamer. She's a singer. Which
but that's why I said either streamer or content creator.
Yeah.
Is this the one that happened on June 10th, 2000? Is this the one that happened on June 10th, 2016?
Yes, I literally just said that.
Oh, sorry. I pulled it up on my thing. Yeah, I think this is the person everyone's talking about. And they're not wrong. They are not wrong. I mean, again, if he really wanted to do something, if he really wanted to kill her, he had ample opportunity to do that.
It took so long for
it took a total of 8 seconds. It took 8 seconds. Yeah.
A lot of stuff could have happened. I think he could have stabbed her, shot her, used a syringe, choked her. There's so many ways of how he could.
Yeah, the syringe one. Yeah, because that's becoming more common in France apparently.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like there is just so many things he could have used in order to end her right then and there in those 8 seconds.
Yeah, let's continue.
Was like maybe like the reason Twitch said in their thing, like, oh, security immediately got the guy. Maybe like, you know, they hired like shitty security and they like lied to them so they wouldn't like, you know, lose their job or not get paid. Maybe if you guys had like, you know, actual cameras and like good comms, no one would be able to lie or have to lie. Like, why is it better to, or like easier to find out something happened in fucking Among Us than at TwitchCon? Hello?
That's a good analogy.
It's fucking insane. But yeah, I just want to tell you guys all that. This is character development. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Like this was just the final straw for me. Oh my goodness. Oh. But yeah, I have been, okay, something else. Sorry, I just keep remembering shit. It's gonna be like this for the rest of the stream. I saw a thing that said I was in their like top 5 or top 10 most followed streamers attending this event. Again, if that happened to me, what the fuck is happening to small creators that we don't even hear about because no one's filming them? Like, they tweet it and like Twitch doesn't feel the need to follow up with them or publicly. It's just...
It's tragedy of the world.
But yeah, I think I covered everything, and I've been a streamer on Twitch for 10 years. I attended the very first or maybe the second TwitchCon ever in 2016, 2015. And yeah, like I understand back then it was different, but I feel like I know they say there's security upgrades, but it really feels like there's not. Like another thing that happened, I forgot to mention. So the way that the meet and greet worked is like people line up, they come through, they take a picture, then they're supposed to walk through the back and leave. There were people walking through the back trying to come up to my booth, or like, I mean, not all of them were like malicious intent, obviously. Like some people would leave and be like, oh shit, my picture is bad, I'm gonna go back and ask for another one. And my manager had to be the one to tell them like, oh no, you can't, like keep moving.
Yeah, I don't understand why people don't like check their pictures. Would they take like a photo with, one of the talents before they leave? Because most people are going to be most people are understanding as like, oh, the picture came out bad. Oh yeah, let's try it again. But that's if you catch it immediately, because it takes basically no time to do that.
Especially with phones nowadays. Like last time when we went to a con and you and me both basically met Centrea, it's like they gave. I'm not sure about you, but they gave me plenty of time to look at the pictures that they took of us together to see if they were good pictures, and yeah, they were good. But they said to me, it's like, if you have any issues with those pictures, we can retake them. It's like that just sounds like something that would be quite easily and should be common. Not basically you leave. Oh, I don't like this picture. Let me try to go back.
Yeah, I mean, at least at that point, you'd have to get back in line, right? But yeah, it should be common sense that if you take a picture with someone and like you're gonna have to wait for a while to get another one, you should probably check the picture before you leave. I don't understand why that's not just like common, like the common wit.
Oh, hey, we have our first comment on stream.
Oh, hold on. Ah, yes, it's Road. Nice to see you again, man. But yeah, I just do not understand. Granted, this has nothing to do with Twitch itself. This is just con stuff. I just don't understand how that's not like understood. Check your fucking photos before you leave the meet and greet. It takes no time to check the photo.
Yeah, it's like.
But again, the fact that like the fact that it's her manager that also has to stop them from going back to be like, hey, my photo turned out bad. Can I take another one? That should have been a security thing. That shouldn't have been the manager's thing.
Yeah, it's like, again, there's just so many things bad with this thing that like no other con would survive, but yet somehow Twitch has been surviving this. TwitchCon has been surviving all this since 2016.
Well, I don't know much about like the early Twitch, to be perfectly honest, because I didn't exactly watch Twitch very often until a particular like set of circumstances that involve a potentially global conspiracy to break down the people's will to tell the state to go fuck itself. I'm talking, of course, about COVID, but
And there was even like, I think it was fucking Neon, was able to walk through the back of my meet and greet, and was like, oh hey, like, can I come say hi? And it's like, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, it was just horrible. Like, there was no thought put into it at all.
Now I'm not gonna presume to tell people anything about security per se, because I don't work security. I was only in the I was only in the military, but Twitch just seemed, every time I hear about TwitchCon, not just the disasters that seem to happen every fucking TwitchCon, but just the way it's organized. It reminds me of that one time we went to that one Comic-Con, the one that had multiple stories on it. I don't want to give away my location, so I'm not going to say where specifically it was at. But we went to a comic convention, and in the building, in the setting we were at, there was actually multiple floors for the whole convention. There were 5 floors, and all of the main attractions were on the first 2 floors. And it's like, so no one knew that there was anything above that.
And we're not talking about like just spread out across the first 2 floors. I mean, in the direct center of the first floor, and basically at the staircase of the second floor, that's where all the main attractions that people go to these cons for.
Yeah, so this completely destroyed any kind of like traversability of that particular con, and it completely fucked over everyone who was there as like an art vendor. Because no one knew that they were there until like the middle way of the second day, and then after everyone had basically spent all their money on the third day was when basically everyone finally figured out, oh wait, there's people up there, but I don't have any money to spend anymore. So I think that might have been the worst organized convention I've ever been to. That I actually did tell one of the people who were responsible for organizing the convention why this was a dumb thing to do, and they never did it again. But that sounds like safer and more actually thought put through it than any of the TwitchCons I've ever heard of people going to be perfectly honest. It sounds genuinely nightmarish.
Yeah, it's like nightmarish, completely baffling. And again, if it wasn't for the fact that these people are backed up by Amazon, all this stuff would have been career ending.
I mean, yeah.
And yeah, I was like, man, it's just fucking naked and afraid out here. Like, thank God I have my manager and my security and my friends. But, like, I just feel so bad for, you know, Twitch creators who wouldn't be able to be in that position. Are you okay, though? This is gonna sound fucked up, honestly. I'm so desensitized to stuff like that when it happens, I kind of just go into, like, lock-in mode. I'm like, okay, I need to just lock in and, like, get through this. Worry about it later. So that's how I was able to finish my meet and greet. Like, my friends were telling me, like, bro, if it was me, I mean, crying. You're built different for going back out there.
I mean, it is a good skill to be able to compartmentalize yourself so that you don't deal with the emotions of the moment in the moment, but you need to get the things done that you need to get done, and then you can like actually experience the emotions. That is a very important skill to develop, and it's not a very comfortable skill, obviously, because eventually you do have to deal with that emotional debt. Huh?
Then again, a lot of important stuff you need in order to actually get through life aren't comfortable. You just have to tolerate it.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like what she's describing here is not a bad skill to have, but you know, it's just a thing that eventually everyone kind of has to learn or should learn. But I suspect the reason she learned this particular skill is more along the lines of the negligence of security regarding the people that she works around.
And like I said, I was going back out there and having to apologize to people in my own line. Being like, I'm sorry you saw that. I hope you're okay. And then they of course were like, what the fuck? Why are you saying that to me? But I felt like I had to because no one else was there.
I will say this. I fully understand the people who are like, why are you apologizing? You didn't do anything wrong. I get it, but it's mostly because for some reason, I don't know why, the phrase like my condolences like just fell out of fashion. I don't know why, because it serves the same functional purpose as like telling someone I'm sorry that happened to you. It's still an earnest phrase to use, but unlike saying I'm sorry, it doesn't imply even just like tacitly or grammatically that like you have something to apologize for. It's more along the lines of like, look, I'm showing you. It's a way to show compassion to someone that's going through some time. So, but I can't think of the last time I heard someone say like tell someone that they have their condolences. I can't. I don't know what happened. The phrase just fell out of fashion.
We live in a society, folks.
And like I said on Twitter, like I really wish I didn't have this opinion. Like I love trying to be like the positive, like, oh, let's get together and have fun, everyone. I really like would discourage other creators from going back to TwitchCon, not just because because it was able to happen at all, and what happened during it, and the aftermath. Like, it's just crazy. Like,
pause it. Like, not to victim blame here, but like, there's one con everyone knows all this stuff happens. And they put up PSAs about all this stuff, the injuries, the drugging, the assaults. So it's like none of this is basically stuff that is hidden in the background. This is stuff that everyone knows about, all out in the open, and yet these people still go here. I'm
I
kind
mean,
of sorry that this happened to you, but you kind of knew the risk because of how lackadaisy staff has been
lackadaisical.
about this. Yeah, lackadaisical about all this stuff in the past.
I mean, to be fair, she didn't deserve what happened to her, and she didn't actively do anything to cause it to happen. But I mean, there is something to be said about like there being some degree of like responsibility for the situations we put ourselves in. But at the same time, you should also have a reasonable expectation that if you're being hosted by someone, that your host will actually provide for your safety. So, I mean, as we were talking about earlier, it's like if I, as a guy, I never would have gone to a TwitchCon because again, it's very obviously not safe. And like if I was a woman, I would definitely not consider going to a TwitchCon because it's very fucking obviously not safe. Again, I guess if anyone's gonna watch this VOD, it's gonna be a little repetitive, but again, there was that guy who was sexually assaulted at Twitch Con either last year or the year before that. It was a man, so it didn't exactly get the same degree of coverage as this right here. And there was that one woman who like again lost her child. She was a pregnant woman, but because of Twitch incompetence. So these are not people who care about safety, and I definitely and none of these are not these are well documented instances. So it's like everyone for the most part knows that TwitchCon is unsafe. And I just personally would not have trusted Twitch beforehand, to be perfectly honest. Like I could see,
and
I keep on.
not victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming her. This is a bad thing. It should never have. But you kind of have a bit of accountability here because you knew all this stuff about TwitchCon and how it's notorious for all this stuff, and yet you still decided to go.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah. So, but again, there is a reasonable expectation that Emiru should have that these people would actually give a shit about her safety, considering she's there to help them make money.
But clearly, that was misguided trust.
Yeah, and to be fair, everyone has a different pool of knowledge. So me and you saying this is one thing, and she did earlier in the video, to your point, say that she had heard other people talk about how Twitch was unsafe. So fair enough. It is very likely, by her own admission, that she did know that there were potentially risks of going to TwitchCon. Technically, there's a risk of going to any kind of open space. Let's not be crazy here, but different, certain open spaces are more dangerous than other open spaces. And again, as I said earlier, I genuinely think I would probably be safer going to an Anthrocon, which is not exactly the safest convention, than going to a TwitchCon. Now, I don't have the numbers to prove that, but I have a very strong feeling that that might be the case. And to be perfectly honest, I just don't want to do the math. So if someone can correct me or confirm me on that with showing the math, that would be fine. I'll take it either way. I don't mind being potentially wrong, but yeah,
we're streamers, folks. We're as lazy as humanly possible.
I'm lazy.
Why would their PR team say that? Like, you can literally see in the clip that he's allowed to walk away.
Yeah, and there's other clips that show that he just walks out. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
And walks around the convention.
Appreciate all the support and stuff. It was pretty crazy. Getting all the messages and stuff last night. And again, I've said it like 5 fucking times. Thank fucking God that someone was filming and decided to post it. Because if not, you know what I would be doing today? I would be so fucking stressed being like, okay, do I have to disrupt my stuff that I have planned to announce that this thing happened to me and let people know that it could happen to them? So thank fucking God for that guy. Like, thank you so much for doing that. And I would just encourage everyone just to stand the fuck up. Stand up for yourself, stand up for other people, because if you don't, look what fucking happens, which is crazy because I saw Valkyrie, I saw Pokey, I saw Hassan, I saw Cutie saying, I don't really want to go to TwitchCon because I don't feel safe. And everyone was saying that they were stupid or overreact. Not everyone, but a lot of people. A large portion of people were saying that. And Twitch's response to that was to be like, oh, don't worry, everyone else. We up security.
Did you?
I don't believe that for a moment.
To them. Especially because, I mean, a lot of people know stuff like this has happened to me in the past, and I just keep going. Like, I'm the kind of person that's like, you know what, I'm not gonna let a shitty person or a shitty thing ruin my life or, like, what's going on for me, you know what I mean? Fuck it, we ball.
Fair.
So I was like, I'm gonna go anyway. I'm just gonna be smart. I'm gonna pay for security. I'm only gonna do my show. How is someone gonna attack me at my show? I'm only gonna do my meet and greet. How the fuck would they get into a meet and greet? It's roped off with security. Nope. Nope. Lesson learned.
I mean, yeah. What they up with?
Yeah.
You know what? That's a good point, Road. Yeah, the only thing I suspect that they up the security regarding is their downtime, because apparently apparently there were gaps in security, which any person with common sense who was trying to organize security in an event would account for. But good lord, man. Yeah, I have no fucking clue. They say they upped security. I don't believe them for a second. Like, there are just so many times Twitch has been caught in a lie. And they just never back down from the lie. It's the whole I reject your reality and substitute my own. Well, reality has a habit of coming to bite you in the ass. Right?
And also after it happened, Twitch did offer if I wanted some of their Twitch security. I was like, I'm good, bro. But I was lucky enough that Clemens, who's one of my usual security guards, flew out from Austin, Texas this morning to be there with me today. Have to go to lengths like that. And I have two other security guards. One of them's Amazon's, but I have my personal security guard that I feel comfortable with is like my main guy.
I mean, Amazon was responsible for the security that didn't apparently exist. Again, not to beat a dead horse, but this is just the security version of a fucking shark spotter. It's worse than nothing. It does nothing. It gives you a false sense of security. So when something does happen, like someone got hurt, but then nothing happens.
And they said that they changed security for the show and stuff, but yeah, I'm just done.
Yeah, you know, Twitch gaslight, gatekeeps, and girl bosses their way out. I mean, to be fair, it kind of sounds like
true.
It sounds exactly like what their strategy is, distilled into a meme. Yes.
This is the kind of thing that it's like once you break the trust or something like this, you're never getting it back. I'm sorry, you're just not. Like, it's not like this is the first time that something like this has happened. So, like, the trust was already kind of broken, and that caused a lot of people not want to come. Like, for example, people were talking about how last year, Nick, NMPLOL, and Wake Wilder, got assaulted. A guy literally walked up to Nick on stream and licked his nipple.
That's what his name was. Oh, wait. Oh, there goes my phone. Dropped it right on the floor. Anyway, that's what the guy's fucking name is. I could not remember what his name was, but apparently she mentions it in the video. Yeah, so this is not the first time someone was sexually assaulted at Twitch.
Again, not victim blaming, but you kind of knew all this stuff, and you still claim. And honestly, if I had to come to an event like this that's this dangerous, granted, I would check the local laws of the place, but I would basically have come armed. Like, if the place allowed me to have a taser, the moment I see kiss me, I would just tase them in the ass.
Well, I mean, it's a convention. They're not going to let you go in armed. But, you know, I've always been of the opinion of...
Yeah. Clearly that they weren't actually checking people who went in.
Yeah, but also I think, again, I'm pretty sure it would have also been a gun-free zone. So legally you'd been in a lot of trouble for that. But
That's why I said I would check the laws.
But I'm a Second Amendment absolutist, so I'm personally okay if the laws are changed so that security can be strapped at events like this. To be perfectly honest, but that's just me. A lot of it also happens to deal with like the convention making an assessment of like how well or not they can trust their customers. Certain conventions obviously are more trustworthy than others. I mean, there's a reason yaoi paddles had to be banned from anime conventions. It's the same. It's the same reason. Not to bring this up again in stream. It's the same reason why on the side of my pistol it reads "caution, capable of firing with magazine removed," because some retard had to have that explained to them. So I was like, yeah, some retard had to get in trouble by accidentally shattering someone's hip with a yaoi paddle for the yaoi paddle to, after people were constantly fucking using them to assault each other anyway, to finally be banned. There's a certain degree at which like you kind of have to plan around retards in order to host the things for not the non-retards enjoy.
But again, like not again. I'm going to sound like a broken record at this point, but not victim blaming. But you knew about the history of this place, and you basically still trusted them.
I mean, yeah, that's not going to be the thing I'm going to mostly focus on because I already gave my piece on that.
Which again, if that wasn't filmed on stream, would anything have been done? I don't fucking know. Nope. And they didn't even make like an official announcement about it. They didn't reach out to Nick, as far as I know. He was saying that last year. So if they did reach out to him, it was way after the con. So it's like, did they just not think it was a big deal? Is it because Nick's a guy? Like,
yep.
I mean, I'm pretty sure this popped off much harder than it did when Nick was assaulted. But again, it's because we respond differently to men and women being sexually assaulted in the same way. And again, as Emiru was saying earlier, it's like, why do I have to be the one to do this? Well, it's because you're the only one people would listen to if it happened to. Because if it happens to a guy, it's not taken as seriously. So it has to happen to a woman in order for it to actually be taken with the gravitas it actually deserves to be taken with.
We live in society, folks.
It's not a good thing, but that's just de facto how it works at the moment.
Hello?
It's not how it always worked, but it is how it works now.
I run a show right now. I am still doing the show, like I said, because of the production staff worked really hard on it, and the cosplayers involved worked really hard on it. So I still want to do it, but this is gonna be my last TwitchCon show. I'm doing it with Baby No Money and Will Neff. So even though we haven't really had time to go over this in practice, it'll be fine. It'll be a shit show, but it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fun.
I haven't seen her show, but I hope
lots of talented people working in Twitch production.
Okay, so funny enough, when this was going on, and you told me that like she had a response video to this, to what happened, I missed this original stream. And instead, when I went to her stream on Twitch, it was her show, which I'm going to be perfectly honest, I didn't actually watch. So I actually did see part of that stream, only because when I was told about her streaming, I thought she was doing this stream. So.
And all that, it's, yeah. Whew. Anyway, how are we feeling, guys? Yeah, I'm flying home tomorrow, and my security guard's gonna be accompanying me to fly home, but it's just sad, the world that we live in now. Like, to me, I don't even think of myself as, like, someone that needs to be protected or, like, someone important, but it's like, I was talking about how, like, I wanted to buy a new hamster recently. I was thinking about how if I want to do that on stream, I'd have to hire security to go buy a fucking hamster. And like I said, I spent over $10,000 alone just to come to TwitchCon for security. I've probably spent close to 6 figures total going to cons and stuff on security. And again, it's not like this only happens to people of my size. This happens to girls or guys with 50 viewers. What the fuck are they supposed to do? They can't afford that. It's like, you gotta just deal with it, or you're... that's another thing. I could've fucking died yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, there's people who are saying that the guy might have had a knife in his hand. Hopefully that was not the case. As you said, you think it was the pen that she had, that he grabbed the pen and then pulled it away from her. Hopefully that's what actually happened.
It kind of looked like the
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
like, people have had close-ups of it, and it does look like the pen that she was writing with, in my personal opinion.
But again, that dude is way outside of her weight class. If he really wanted to, he didn't need a weapon to really hurt or potentially kill her. And again, if that was her pen, he grabbed her pen, and it took 8 seconds for her security guards, for the security to actually get to her. So in that time, if that was like a pen that he took from her, he could have stabbed her with it. So again, a lot can happen in 8 seconds. There's a reason why, again, as I said, he should have been standing on the opposite side, because where he was standing, he could not have seen him come through. In fact, he didn't see him come through because the wall that he was standing by was literally obscuring his vision of the line. He should have been able to see the whole line. But, you know, it's neither here nor there right now.
But yeah, obviously, I'm gonna be making my own personal changes going forward. I already have, like, for years, but I'm just really hurt and disappointed by how everything was set up by Twitch and, like, how it was handled after. Like, honestly, that was upsetting me more and making me more angry last night than everything else. Like, it's like, okay, you know, any person can be walking on the street and get assaulted. Like, yeah, it's fucking horrible. It's fucking horrible. But why do I have to worry about that happening at the convention for the place that I work? I don't know if I'm just talking in circles now, but,
So are we.
I don't know, guys.
I mean, I don't know if there is really much to say. There's a certain amount of things you can say about this, and then I don't think anything outside of that is all that meaningful. So, I mean...
Yeah.
Y'all want to see my fit for the show? Ugh. Bonnie helped me put it together, and I've got the heels. Show's in fucking 28 minutes. Fuck me. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm just gonna try to have fun. Try to, like, you know, let the cosplayers and people that came to participate in it shine. And then I'm going home.
Understandable.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, as much as we've been talking about, like, the fact that she got assaulted, I can't help but notice that depending on how California, because I think the con is in California, you said, depending on how they define the terms, they might be able to stack a battery charge on it, too. Because I know in many, many jurisdictions, assault doesn't actually require any kind of physical contact. You know, you inappropriately flash your gun at someone, and that's an assault charge. Because it's about, like, because assault in many places is defined basically as putting someone in legitimate fear of bodily harm. So it doesn't actually require you to put your hands on someone. And this is where assault and battery comes in, where the battery is where you actually put your hands on someone. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see this court case happen, because I do hope, obviously she said she's going to take the, you know, fucking stalker guy
Measures.
to, like, court. I do hope that she might look into potentially, like Legal Mindset suggested, looking into potentially taking Twitch to court as well. Because I think it would be a pretty easy I think it would be pretty easy to demonstrate that Twitch was acting negligently in all this, and you know.
But as I basically said, it's like
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna
she
fuck her
must
over if she does that.
yeah, it's like takes them to court. Even if she wins, they're basically going to screw her over and do everything they can to kill her career on Twitch. So she would need to find a different platform to move to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Trying to remember if I forgot to touch anything else. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, this stream fucking sucked. I feel like I'm being forced to do a press conference because it's like, if I don't say these things, no one is going to, and then they're just gonna act like it never happened next year. Great.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure they're going to act like it didn't happen next year anyways.
I'm pretty sure she had like a very accurate assessment of what was going on, to be perfectly honest.
Just a girl in Kansas playing League in my room, and the worst thing that ever happened to me was someone said I was like a boosted whore in chat or something. Wish I could go back to that.
The good old days, right?
What else? Shout out to my friends, all the people that reached out to me. I remember Lakari in particular was like, "Yo, Emmy, you need another security guard? I can be there. I'll make sure that I'll keep you safe." Lakari offered to be an extra security guard. I was like, "Aw, thanks, bro."
Base.
Yeah, my brain is mush, bro. I'm cooked.
As are ours.
But yeah, this was kind of like, I guess you could say like a climax for me in my character development. Cause this year already, I know there's a lot of people that watch me that are kind of similar to me in some regards, in terms of being like a more like timid or like glass half full type of person, or like wanting to believe the best in people type of person. I still believe that you can be that way, and I still believe that I'm still that way, but I've definitely come to realize, and I really want everyone to really think about this, you have to stand the fuck up for yourself, for other people, because if you don't, there's a lot of people who are just gonna take the easy, lazy route because it doesn't affect them, so they don't care. Like a lot of the people that were hired to work on this event. And I've been through so many horrible things. I don't want things like this to happen to other people, or at least for it to not be that easy for it to happen to other people. I do feel like it's partially my responsibility. I mean, not to like make sure things don't happen, but to let people know that these kinds of things happen, because they should know. And again, it's crazy that nothing was said about this publicly or to other creators who had similar events as me until there was a viral clip.
We investigated ourselves and found nothing.
Well, I mean, if it was up to Twitch, that's exactly what would happen. But she does have a point. You do have a responsibility to, when something does happen to you, to, speak up about that having happened, and trying to ensure that it doesn't happen to other people, or at least, even if it's impossible to figure out how, even if it's impossible to do that, we don't live in an ideal world. We don't live in a world governed by ideas. We live in a world, that is governed by the real. Trying to put in measures to keep that from happening to other people. But you have to negotiate with reality as reality is in order to do that, so.
Crazy weekend. Crazy fucking weekend. But yeah, I love you guys. I'm not gonna stop streaming. I'm not gonna stop, trying to interact with fans in a safe way. Maybe no more convention streams, which is sad because I love convention streams, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't control the weather, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just really hope that, nothing else happens to anyone else this weekend. That we're not hearing any more terrible stories. And
then the VTubers.
I really feel like the only way to hold people accountable is to show that it's not okay by, for example, like I was saying, creators not going to these events. Because a lot of these tickets are sold via meet and greets, like what I was doing. And I really feel like I was treated like cattle or merchandise. Cause why is no one there making sure I'm safe like a person? Why are the security guards joking and laughing and be like, oh, I didn't even see what happened?
Well, I mean, because you're not really a person to them, you're a utility.
It's crazy, man. I want to play fucking...
You're nothing but numbers.
I want to play fucking Mega Bonk, bro.
Numbers go up.
So fucking annoying. So fucking annoying. And yeah, I don't even care if I lose any like opportunities or anything for talking about this, because it's fucking insane. And another thing I've realized is sometimes if you don't say something, no one else is going to. Sometimes you have to be the one that, you know, steps up and starts the conversation.
I mean, you're ultimately responsible for yourself, so.
And yeah, like I said, this isn't even the first thing that happened, because my friends Nick and Wake, it happened to them last year. And yeah, maybe just because they're men or something, it wasn't taken seriously, which is fucking insane.
And yet you still trust these people.
Yeah, stay safe, guys. Look out for your friends. You know, if you're here this weekend, you know, stay in groups. And I mean, I would love to know if like other things have happened to other smaller creators and it's just being drowned out because Twitch isn't giving them the same attention that they're giving me. I would love to know, even if it happened in the past, because it's fucking ridiculous. Like, yes, I know these things happen at cons, but when the con literally exists because of your small and big creators, it should not be this kind of an issue where it's like talked about to this extent.
I mean, like, again, the last con we went to, there were like 2 major events, but nothing like this shit. Nothing like this shit actually happened. There was one thing that did happen, and I'm not going to say what it was, but it was a major crime, but no one actually got physically hurt. So it was I don't want to give away my location, but yeah, long story short, it was someone being retarded, not realizing that you know, if I give this information, I'm going to end up giving away where I am, because there's no way for...
Just give a quick summary.
No, I can't, because I just realized that this hasn't happened anywhere else. So if I give if I give the information, even in a quick summary, it'll basically dox me. So I'm just gonna say there was a major crime where no one got physically hurt, but someone was really fucking stupid. And there was like some idiots coming in and being like, ah, yes, this is evil, and protesting in the middle of the con, and then they had to get escorted out by the cops. But you know, nothing like this shit right here. Like, yeah, that shit was bad, but it was mostly just retards. That you know, no one got sexually assaulted from what I understand last con that we went to. So it's like, yeah, I don't really buy this. This is a thing that just happens in cons. I'm pretty sure this is a thing that is... I'm pretty sure the rates of this happening at like an anime convention, a Comic-Con, an Anthrocon, and fucking what would you call it? TwitchCon are going to be very different from each other in percentages. I don't know where I would be able to prove this, but I have a very strong suspicion that these different things would have different rates for all of these.
And again, it's like we have all these other cons, then TwitchCon is the only one that gets the PSAs about these specific type of safety concerns.
Yeah, fair enough. The closest thing I can think of like this happening to any convention we've ever been to was when a friend of ours at the time yeah, it was when a friend. I had to think about this to see if this was actually the case. When a friend of ours at the time apparently got uh how would you say a little bit promiscuous, if you will, with another cosplayer at one of the conventions, which I didn't know about this till after the fact. But yeah, it would it was they were like those two were consensual, but apparently this happened in the bathroom, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, my guy? There's a fucking hotel over there, at least. Leave everyone else out of this. Yeah, but that's the closest thing I can think to. I can't think of any other. I can't think of any con we've been to where something like this happened.
2x4 ain't enough. Grab me the 4x8.
grab me the 4x8. Fucking weirdos, man.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But yes, the thing I described is not comparable to this.
No, I think you guys should post about it if something happened to you. Like, please do. Oh, I need a minute. Sorry. Give me a sec.
Drinking a Red Bull? Absolute crackhead. That shit would wire me.
Not just because of what happened to me, but because of what it implies about other people. Because if I wasn't important, there's hundreds of thousands of people that stream on Twitch. Like, I don't know. I genuinely, again, I hate being this kind of person. I genuinely want people to be held accountable and for things to, like, visibly be changed. But even so, I personally am not going to another TwitchCon. I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, that's entirely fair.
This is my final TwitchCon. This show will be my final performance. And then I'm going back to streaming video games in my room. In my house that probably has more cameras around it than TwitchCon.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I mean, she should have some decent security at her home.
But yeah,
yeah, but her house is probably
I hope
way
that
smaller
this
than
happened to
TwitchCon.
any other creators you know that you are cared about, and people do want to know. And yeah, yeah, that was a lot. Sorry guys, I hate the heavy stuff.
But it wasn't necessary.
Really hate the
yeah.
heavy stuff. And I know there's some people at Twitch and Amazon watching right now. Please just listen. Like, people aren't saying this for no reason. Like, I feel like you guys don't get it or something. Like,
look, I know Hanlon's razor is never attribute malice to that which can be adequately explained by stupidity, but I don't think this is an example of where Hanlon's razor applies, to be perfectly honest. I genuinely don't think that Twitch is unaware of this, especially considering that, you know, they platform a terrorist propagandist on their, you know, proudly too. Like, they put him on the fucking front page basically every fucking day. So I don't think that this is and also, actually, funny enough, you know, the head of Twitch was invited to speak in front of you know, was it Congress? I mean, I had to explain to a buddy of mine, is like, yeah, well, Twitch turning them down was let's see, hold on, what is this? Road just responded, corporate or cooperate and listen in the same sentence. Yeah, fair enough, right? So yeah, oh yeah, the head of Twitch was actually, along with other streaming platforms, was called up, not called up. It was asked to speak, invited to speak in front of Congress about the issue of radicalization through their platform. He was not subpoenaed. He was not like summoned. He was given an invitation. And so he was well within his right to tell them, "No, I'm not going to do that." Because the next step in that process is Congress is, if they're actually interested in this subject, actually just ordering him to go up there and you know explain to them what's going on, which they can do. But yeah, he was simply invited to do that specifically because of morons like Frogan and Hassan and all these other terrorist sympathizers, to be perfectly honest. Um, so yeah, again, this is not a Hanlon's razor thing. This is not a stupidity is sufficient enough to explain the behavior. This is a we genuinely just do not give a shit. This is a malice is the only way to really explain this behavior. So
I could have
And
literally
again,
been stabbed
I can't
yesterday.
fully confirm this. I can't fully confirm this, but again, as said earlier in the stream, we have some testimonies from some ex Amazon employees, and Jeff Bezos would rather compete with Musk on some of the crazy projects Musk has done rather than keeping an eye out on what Twitch or what's happening with Twitch and Amazon.
but I'm less versed in Amazon. I do know that Amazon and Walmart, some of the biggest employers of the in the United States, also donate a shocking amount to the public education system. The one that consistently fails to adequately educate American, children. Yeah, so let that one noodle around in your brain for a bit.
Literally, like, I have also seen people asking if I'm like taking any type of legal action. I am pressing charges against the guy with the police.
Good.
As for anything else, I don't know yet because I've been having my manager handle all of those like side conversations. So I have no idea, but I don't. It's just not okay. But at the bare minimum, I will be pressing charges against the guy that was there. Obviously, like, duh. Yes, sir. I mean, it's also kind of funny. I'm literally doing this in TwitchCon. They just gave me an empty conference room to just fucking dispel everything. But yeah, I really feel like there's a lot of key people that are responsible that need to be held accountable.
Which they won't.
Because clearly there's been multiple points of failure.
Okay, I want to pause this because that particular way she phrased that is kind of interesting to me. That they gave her this room so she could stream for the purpose that she would dispel everything. Dispel, as in make it go away. I find that an interesting choice of words. I would like to know what the thought process was behind her saying those particular. Maybe I'm thinking a little bit too much into it, but this reads to me more like she thinks, and I could be totally fucking wrong on this, but the way she said that, it sounds to me like she's under the impression that Twitch is expecting her to save face for them, which absolutely she should not be doing.
Yeah, I agree with your statement 100%. And I know someone's basically going to go into someone's going to see this one and basically go, "Oh, if they want her to dispel all this type of all this rhetoric and make it go away, why isn't someone from Twitch basically hidden behind the camera, making sure she's saying the things that they want to say?" It's like, well, one, as you saw, they basically have bare bones staff at best here, and two, they're incredibly incompetent.
Yeah, and Yeah, and considering the Twitch staff, they're probably too busy watching titty streamers.
For this stab even happened in the first
Live
place.
at the con.
Oh my god.
And again, forgive me if I'm just rambling in circles. But I do also want to say, yeah, there's a lot of people that work at Twitch that are lovely, amazing, creative people. It's not them, but there's definitely multiple people that their failure allowed this to happen. Multiple people.
Hold on. Okay, Road responded, to be fair, you can't exactly say bad things about Twitch at Twitch while on their payroll while streaming through Twitch. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and we did point that out earlier. I guarantee you, if Emiru does try to like take Twitch to court, which I think she probably could do, and Legal Mindset does have a video on that, which I don't think we're going to be able to watch today. But since you're not an employee to Twitch, you're just getting paid by Twitch. Which, by the way, again, as Doctor pointed out earlier, this is probably the best thing MatPat has ever thought of, is trying to clarify the relationship between like a platform and the people the platform is paying to make them content, because they're in a very, as of right now, they're in a very legally ambiguous situation. Emiru would not have the protections. She would not have the protections against Twitch if she took them to Twitch that you would if you had to take, for example, your employer to court. So she would absolutely be fucked over by Twitch if she tried to take them to court. Now, I hope that there's a loophole that they can find to absolutely protect her and body Twitch at the same time. But I'm not a lawyer, and I'm like, I can't. I'm not as proficient at Kalsari or Pilpul as the the Yiddish speaking community calls it, to weasel a strategy for that. I'm not that good at torturing a text.
You can barely speak at the moment. How could you handle being the lawyer in a court of law?
But yes, you do have a point, and I'm pretty sure this is one of the things that she is actively thinking about. Is like, well, I can't really, like, because she know, I'm pretty sure she knows this could potentially affect her quite negatively, because there's nothing stopping Twitch from just shadow banning her account. I mean, hell, for the past like 3 fucking presidential terms, YouTube and other platforms apparently were not just shadow banning accounts, but actively going against their own terms of service to get many creators fucking banned from their platform against their own terms of service. Nate the lawyer had an excellent video talking about how they admitted exactly this. So, yeah, she is in kind of a pickle.
Sure. I don't have any doubt about that, especially because of the fact that they flew out the global head of Amazon to talk to my manager and my security guard today.
Because they didn't have anything better to do.
But yeah, we're gonna do our show with Will and Baby No Money. We're gonna try to have fun. During it, I know a lot of you guys are still mad, but I'd prefer if we could just not talk about it, just like focus on the show and like the people in the show, not just be spamming like fuck Twitch or whatever.
That's fair. I mean, if she is gonna run a show, it would be inappropriate to bring this up during the show.
Yeah, because like I said, there's a lot of people that worked on the show that had absolutely nothing to do with what happened yesterday. I would like for them to still, be able to have a good show and, feel like people enjoyed it, and that it was fun.
We're going to pause it for a moment. Rhodes said, sick, we love corporate. Now, I get what you're saying, and you are correct, especially with this corporate. Twitch as a corporation is a fucking travesty, but so is Amazon. But there's a lot that goes into this. Funny enough, there's not as big of a separation between state and corporation as a lot of people might like to think. There is a hell, in fact, the very origin of the term corporation has some rather interesting origins. But yeah, um, there's a lot of corporations that get dirty money from the federal government to do things that the federal government itself can't do, which should get them classified as state actors. But you'd actually have to take them to court
But
for
it
that,
doesn't.
right? Again,
And the problem is it's because the government having their pockets aside these large corpos. It kind of makes them too big to fail. It's
yeah.
like
I mean,
we see all these
I mean,
we see all these type of corporations basically burning money with all these type of projects that aren't doing anything, and it's like, and people are saying, well, they should fail, keep doing it and failing. It's like, and I'm like, sorry, these these corporations are not going to die off. They're basically too big to fail.
well, Kirsha, for example, does a lot of really good investigative journalism about this, especially with the DEI and bridge exposés that she does, where she points out it's like, yes, there is a push in the. It's not even post-Marxian; it is actually Marxian, philosophy. It's just filtered through the observation of Deng Xiaoping, which is the whole. It doesn't matter if it's black or white, as long as the cat catches mice. A cat is a cat. Um, but the well, where was it going? Yeah. So once you understand that, like, how Deng Xiaoping's like political philosophy filters communism through capitalism, and that it actually turns capitalism in service to the communist goal, managerialism makes a lot of sense. Like the whole purpose of managerialism becomes like, oh wait, yeah. So this is actually just, again, it doesn't matter if the cat is black or white, as long as it gets the movement of history to the end or purpose that they envision history to be. So like, yeah. So,
And the famines happen.
well, that was before that was before Deng Xiaoping. Deng Xiaoping actually is one of the more dangerous communist thinkers because again, he provides a way to subvert capitalism itself in service of the collectivist will. So, um, he's the one who Deng Xiaoping's the guy who actually brought market economies back into China, although they were heavily regulated and the state basically controls the market through through owning all of the businesses. Um, the advancement from there in the American system is the understanding that the state itself doesn't actually have to own all of the means of production if all of the means of production are controlled by people who have the same enlightened ideals, the same gnosis, the same critical consciousness, if you will, then it doesn't really matter if it's under a capitalist framework because they're all implicitly working to the same end goal for that critical consciousness effort. So that's what managerialism is, and that's the whole purpose of Bridge and DEI is to get people who have this critical consciousness, this false enlightenment, into positions of power within every sector of the market. And then the whole idea of Bridge to get DEI as in like every aspect of a company. Again, that's just the total subversion of every industry to the Marxian program to move history by exploiting the markets being subverted to a particular end goal. So, but then there's also, for example, again, the government has its hands in everything. You have FOSI, for example, which is which isn't necessarily the government, but it's a non-profit organization, allegedly, that has its hands in a shocking number of corporate entities. But they too are themselves ideologically possessed and driven. So, uh, when we say cultural Marxism, we do actually mean like cultural Marxism. But yeah, anyway, so I got sidetracked on that. So I guess we can.
I think this is the first time we got actually sidetracked in this entire stream.
Yeah, fair enough. But
had to happen at some point.
But yeah, so I don't know how we got sidetracked into communism about this, but
because I didn't do a lot of work on the show. Like, I came up with a lot of the concept, but I only did probably like 1 to 2% of the actual setup and production. So yeah, I don't want to be unfair to those people. Yeah, I have to head over there in like 5 minutes. Whew. I do have one more thing to say, but just give me a sec.
Yeah, give her props to her dedication.
Guys, no one's gonna be mad at me if I go home and play League of Legends at this point, right? Like, I fucking deserve it, okay?
I'm sorry. Every time I hear that, I just, for some reason, I think of the fucking animation with the Hololive animation with Gigi trying to convince Mori to play League with her.
Nice little gremlin.
The squeaky toy noises in that animation fucking send me.
Well, she is basically
Honestly,
a living squeaky toy.
Like when I'm stressed, and I feel it.
I don't understand how people can drink Red Bull, man. That absolutely fucks me up.
Skill issues.
Alright guys, 5 minutes to showtime.
A lot of dead air, but justifiable dead air.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm okay. I'm fine because I'm not like saying this to like try to like sound tough or something. I'm genuinely just built different. Like, I'm used to this shit. I can handle it. I can like go live and do shit after. But there's so many people that like I would never want this to happen to someone else. Most people would have just canceled their show and went home probably, and I don't think anyone would fucking blame them. But yeah, I worry a lot for small creators. Not even small creators, even medium-sized creators who can't afford 1, 2, 3 security guards. Coming to shit like this, I don't know. Just be safe out there, guys. Try to be smart. Stick with your friends and your group. And yeah, don't be afraid to talk or ask for help if you ever need stuff. And then as a community, we need to stand up for each other and look out for each other and talk about things when things happen to each other. And the last thing that I want to say is I didn't really get a chance to talk about it because of, you know, all the things that were happening, but I kind of wanted to apologize for some people were talking about the clip of me getting kind of emotional at the end of the RV trip. That shit kind of just slipped out, but there's a lot of things that I haven't wanted to talk about that I think I will probably be talking about when I get home from TwitchCon. So, just wanted to let you guys know about that. Yeah, thank you guys for the support. And I should probably head over to the getting ready area for the show because I think that the other people in the show are already there getting dressed, so I'm gonna go talk to them. So, Allie, if you could put on a BRB, and then soon there should be like a show starting soon thing will be like 10 minutes or so. And then, showtime. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for letting me rant about all of this. Yep. Love you guys.
Oh, she has one of those folding phones.
And, yeah. Look out for each other. I'll see you all in 10 minutes.
Those are neat.
I'm gonna end this here, and then we're gonna go to our BRB. So hopefully some of you guys will watch the show. Bye.
Did YouTube change their layout?
Yes.
I don't like
I
this.
think they changed it yesterday. Neither do I.
Fair enough. Okay. Do you want to watch the Pippa one, or are we just gonna call that it for today?
How long is the Pippa one?
Okay. Pippa talks about the TwitchCon thing. It's like 19 minutes.
Yeah, we can push through for this one.
Okay. Because I think Pippa makes a lot of... Huh?
But so, like, you gotta commend her. It's like...
Oh yeah, no, she had no obligation to fucking continue the meet and greet after she was assaulted. And she had no obligation to continue with the show afterwards. So yeah, like the fact that she willingly went through... Yeah, or make the video. So it's like, I commend her. I did not know anything about Emiru before any of this stuff happened, other than she's a cosplayer, she's friends with Tectone, and she's friends with Jaden Animations. That's literally all I knew about her. But my opinion of her is definitely quite high after that particular response.
Same.
TwitchCon assault. So, I already mentioned this before TwitchCon even started, that I would be going to TwitchCon, but I haven't actually been to the venue, and I have been pretty consistently pleased with my decision to not buy a $250 ticket last year.
I forgot that. It's $250?
And again, even if your badge wasn't working, you were still let through.
Yeah, so I missed that part the first time I watched this, to be perfectly honest.
I went into the convention center and I got some free swag and I talked to the World Wildlife Fund and then I fucked off. This year I was like, I simply cannot be bothered. I am here to meet with some very specific people and to hang out with my streamer friends, and I have accomplished that, so I'm good. But I was talking to one of the employees of Paradox, who make like city skylines, and he was like, we should all go to Tokyo Games instead. And I said, yeah, actually. Why am I going to TwitchCon? I barely stream on Twitch. I only restream to it. I was like, why am I showing up here? I bet if I told the people that I want to hang out with, like, hey, what if we meet up for a convention in Tokyo instead? I think they would be way more down. And it would also be way more easier for me to stream because my stream time is 10 a.m. in Tokyo. I could do my streams like first thing in the morning, and then I can spend the rest of the day with my friends, and it'll be more fun because it's in Japan, and I won't feel guilty about potentially missing streams, and just overall like a better experience. Get to be with people who will like hopefully sponsor Phase Connect and stuff, right? Like, I don't know, and get to hang out with JP coworkers potentially. Just I don't know. I had never thought about it. Like, I know Tokyo Game Show exists, but for some reason it had never occurred to me that there's a better alternative to TwitchCon that probably everybody else would rather go to, and it would cost about the same amount of fucking money anyways. TwitchCon is a con. TwitchCon is a con. TwitchCon has deceived the masses into thinking that it's like the spot to hang out with streamers. No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, it is, but it doesn't have to be. Why are we all going to TwitchCon when Twitch fucking hates VTubers?
Well, I mean, it's the thing I said earlier that you and me were talking about. It's Amazon didn't buy Twitch because Twitch makes money. Like, it's just the same way Google didn't buy YouTube because YouTube makes money. But they both bleed money, to be perfectly honest. they bought these because they carry with them a great deal of, cultural capital. Yeah, that's why they keep it there. It's because Twitch, for some reason, is associated with streaming, and I mean, I'm not exactly helping my case right now. I'm literally streaming on Twitch. It's only because I don't know how to multi-stream yet, and as soon as I know how to multi-stream, I'll be doing that shit. But for the moment. But yeah. But that's why they bought it, because it's already established. Twitch used to be just in TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so there's that little factoid that I'm not going to be able to go on a tangent about. But that's why they bought it.
And again, it's like, and this is also why alternatives basically aren't going to be as successful as these two, Twitch and YouTube, because you need a big corporation in order to back them up. And again, this is going to repeat the cycle over and over again.
Yeah, but so they bought it they bought these things very specifically so that they could be the hub for information, and they could use that hub of information to propagate the information that they actually want propagated. Twitch is the streaming platform. Yeah, there are alternatives like Kick, but the streaming platform is Twitch. And what do they use Twitch for? Well, one of the things they use it for is putting the people that they want people to know about on their front page. Again, people like Hassan. So, they did that for more cultural reasons, and than they did for any monetary value. So
they don't care about the safety of their streamers. And everything in California is so fucking expensive, bro. A coffee here is like $15. This shit sucks.
Skill issue.
Did she say a coffee is $15? That's the price of a
skill issue.
That's the price of a full Goram meal. Over here. Holy crap.
I talked to a Twitch employee and he laughed at me.
Here.
Oh, well, I mean, she also just said it was from Starbucks, so I mean, right, skill issue.
It's not like in a bad way. I was complaining to him. I was like, yeah, like I love Twitch, but that's why I hate Twitch. And he was like, yeah, I get it. He was like, how do you feel about the stories feature on Twitch? And I was like, I actually love it. And he laughed at me. I guess that's not a popular opinion. But I think if Twitch steals the YouTube feature, for those of you who don't know, Twitch Stories is just YouTube Shorts. It's literally YouTube Shorts. So you can be like swiping through on mobile on Twitch, and it'll show you people's streams and people's like most popular clips and stuff like that. It's not great in its current form, but I have been able to find streamers that I like that I might not have been able to find before because there wasn't any discoverability on Twitch before.
Okay, so maybe I need to also look into this. But yeah, I mean, obviously YouTube Shorts is going to be better than the Twitch version because YouTube has literally just been doing this for longer. So yeah.
None. So now it's like, oh, okay, well there is actually some form of discoverability. This is great. Can you guys keep going in this direction, and also maybe fire your security team if you even had one to begin with? I don't know. Also, how about like your management team? Like, what's going on there? Why are people getting banned for stupid shit? Whatever.
Twitch streamer Emiru
just replace the entire staff.
Meet and greet held at TwitchCon. Emiru, whose real name is Emily Beth Shunk, is a 27-year-old streamer.
Did you see it?
His real name is Emily Beth Shunk.
This guy, he like
line appears to show a man.
He cuts like in the meet and greet line, walks up to her, grabs her into a hug, and then after he walks away, like it looks like he has a knife. I don't know if it is a knife. Yeah. I think Moist.
I'm gonna agree with you. I do think it was probably he grabbed the pen in her hand. I think that actually explains quite a bit of the scene, to be perfectly honest. I might be wrong, but I think your observation is actually correct.
Critical's video shows it. Oh wait,
Emiru was pretty much assaulted at TwitchCon 2025. A fan randomly decided.
It kind of looked like he was trying to kiss her too. I don't know.
Cut the line, walked up to.
I mean, that's what she said it was.
Vicinity, and actually forced himself onto her. Thankfully, he didn't have a weapon or anything, but the fact of the matter is that the security...
There are some people who have like paused it, and it did look like he had a
Emiru
weapon.
was pretty much assaulted.
But look at this. Look at this. Wait, hold on. Let's count it. Let's count it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It took 8 seconds to remove the guy. If he had a knife, she would have already been dead. If he just wanted to hurt her in general, already she could have been dead. She could have been gone. She could have had her fucking skull smashed into the concrete. Twitch permanently banned her bodyguard from the event last year because he actually did his job. He held some weirdo who I guess had attacked her or something.
He made them look bad.
He held him
Right.
until the police.
Unironically, that's
This is a
probably
Christina
why
Grimm
that
type
happened.
situation. Yeah. Do you guys remember Christina Grimm?
Oh my god, that was the person we were thinking about earlier.
Me? I think that was in like the early 2000, not like early
2016
2010s.
apparently.
Was it like 2011 or something like that? She was like a singer, and she did a fan meetup, and one of her fans shot and killed her. It was insane. It was fucking insane.
Wake the f up, samurai. We have a city to burn. Okay, so
Yeah, she had like a panel, and I guess Twitch told her like if you don't finish your meet and greet, you can't do your panel, which is incredible.
Start. I don't know if you guys can see this. I wrote fucking notes for this because there's so much stuff that I feel like needs to be talked about, which is also
I still think Twitch was stealing VTubers' gifts and not actually throwing them away.
A cosplay show. It was a
Agreed.
cosplay show.
I am never like that, but I just feel like, in a way, it's my responsibility, you know what I mean? Because it's not just about me, like this could have happened to anyone. Honestly, for all we know, this could have already happened to someone, a small streamer, and someone just wasn't filming it, which, okay, I'll just start this by saying,
The world may never know.
She's right. If this hadn't been filmed, it would not have blown up. Even with how big she is, it would not have blown up. Because think about how a few years ago, people were getting roofied at the Twitch partner party. Yeah, how many of you guys actually know about that? How many people actually know about how people were getting roofied at a Twitch-hosted event a few years ago?
Yeah,
Twitch
you and me both knew
weren't
about this
filmed,
beforehand.
Twitch would have denied it even happened.
Yeah.
True. They're lying about Chibi Doki. Chibi Doki had a meet and greet. And
I think we talked about
Chibi
this too, right?
Is how do I say
Yep.
this? Like she will stay the entire time for her fans because she very much values her community. So
Yeah,
when
she's a
her
sweet
meet and
little
greet
gremlin.
line, like overgoes the limit or whatever. Like she will just stay there and finish it. And Twitch cut off her line, which that isn't entirely like Twitch's fault, right? Because like if somebody else has a meet and greet coming up, it does make sense that they would have to cut off the line to set up for the next person's meet and greet, right? I don't know if that's what was actually happening, but Twitch told the people in line that Chibidoki was cutting it short because her throat hurt. And apparently Twitch staff was also, there's only one person saying this, so I don't know how true this is, but there are multiple people vouching for the Twitch staff telling the line that Chibidoki was the one to cut the line short. But one person said that Twitch staff took a gift from her. Like this viewer wanted to give a gift to Chibidoki, and the Twitch staff took it and threw it away in front of them and said, "Oh, it could be a bomb or something."
Yeah, apparently it's not just.
Why would you throw in a trash can?
Yeah, but apparently again it is not just Chibidoki. Apparently there's been a couple of VTubers who this has happened to with the gifts thing. I'm convinced it's a personal rat in my head, you know. Not to schizo out here, but my schizo theory is that they're not actually throwing them away. They're stealing the gifts. That's my assumption.
Yeah, it's not just a few of them. It's like basically that entire section there where Emiru and the Emiru and Kenya were basically at that where this assault happened. We know for at least every single VTuber there in that section had their gifts tossed, quote unquote, tossed by Twitch staff.
Now, maybe they are actually just throwing this shit away because they remember that Camila, got fucking tracked and her house almost broken into, because a fan gave her a gift that had a tracker in it. But considering what happened here with Emiru, I don't really think that crossed their mind because that would require some degree of consideration of people's safety. And that's apparently not at all what's on Twitch's mind, so I don't imagine that that's a very plausible benefit of the doubt there.
And again, like the entire statement, like you threw it away because you thought there was a bomb there. So like, if it detonates, you want garbage to fill the entire hall?
I mean, if there was a bomb in there, you would be putting people in danger by, disposing of it presumably in a trash bin.
Yeah.
So.
Who's gonna bomb a VTuber, bro? She's.
Well, I mean, not a VTuber, but there was that one moron who threatened to blow up gamer subs. That happened at a convention, but that person was very clearly being a shitter online, and wasn't exactly clear that that people can't tell if you're being a shitter online because tone doesn't carry through text very well. Which, can I just say this? Slight tangent. I got told as a criticism for my interest in ASL Write, which is basically a way to handwrite American Sign Language, which I am very fascinated with, by the way. I was told that a criticism of ASL Write is that it can't, put down all the nuances of sign language as it's actually used. Well, fucking writing systems for oral languages can't do that either. I just gave an example. It can't carry tone very well. Right? That's fucking stupid. It's like, yeah, no shit. It can't carry intensity. It can't carry tone. You could say the exact same sentence with different tones, different intensities, different volumes. None of that shit could actually be carried in the text unless you describe it. This is a fucking stupid thing that I heard. Sorry, I just had to go off on that. I actually really do like the idea of teaching. I do really like the idea of the deaf community learning ASL, right? So that they can actually record their texts in a way that's actually transmissible. Because then, if you actually have a way to write down American Sign Language as well, it helps people who are from an oralist language, like us, where we can hear, we can speak, our language with our mouths. It helps us to learn the language too, because especially with the way ASL Write is designed, once you understand how to read the signs, it tells you in the design of the signs actually tell you how the sign is articulated and used. So it actually is a great tool to help people learn the language as well. So sorry, I had to go on that little linguistic tangent because I fucking hate. I can't stand it. I cannot stand that criticism. It comes off to me as like a lazy man's way of justifying why you don't want to learn this thing. Anyway, so back to the video.
On a screen, what the fuck, man? Twitch is just wild in this year. I'm as shocked as Hassan's dog at this info. Yeah, same, bro. Whatever. You'll get your just desserts, animal abuser.
Happened to post on Twitter, so thanks fucking God.
I will say the memes that come out of that are fucking hysterical. The memes have been fucking hysterical. So.
God,
My favorite one is still the Amazing Spider-Man one I showed you.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking when Hassan's dog learns all of his attack patterns. That was fucking funny. That was funny.
Myself.
A lot of victim blaming, saying she should expect with the audience she curates, and that it was an essay, and that people covering this are blowing the event out of proportion. They're literally not. I'm sorry to Emiru. I keep pausing her video and now I'm gonna click off it, but it's getting me fired up. I need to show you guys what.
This is why I wanted to watch this one.
In response to Emiru getting assaulted at TwitchCon. So Dan Clancy is Twitch's CEO. Jill, thank you.
Do you think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there? Okay, it's very different, you know, when I use...
No. Okay, like...
that's not really, I don't want to say that...
Does he think we have Sue Storm's ability to generate force fields to protect ourselves?
Like, that's fucking... Sorry, just... I heard that and I was like, that's fucking absurd. Because I don't imagine Dan Clancy... I mean, the only thing I know about the guy is that he's head of Twitch. He likes, for some reason, a terrorist apologist, and he watches a bunch of titty streamers. I don't know much about the guy, to be perfectly honest. But this makes me question,
He's a master gooner.
I mean, to be fair, some of the stuff on Twitch you could very easily probably classify as like softcore pornography, but which it shouldn't be on the platform at that point. But
or at least be age restricted.
Right, fucking oh my god, the fucking Cub account that was on the front page of Twitch for a while. And it was definitely funny to see so many people learn about the Cub thing for the first time. I'm like, oh, you sweet summer child, you have no fucking idea how deep this rabbit hole goes. Right? You have no idea how bad it can get. Right? But
the mental scars you'll gain will be with you forever.
Where was I? Oh wait, okay, now I know. Now I remember where I was going with this. But he's talking as if somehow, like, blocking someone online somehow prevents them from showing up physically at a get-together, which sounds like which makes it sound like the guy's completely disconnected from reality, to be perfectly honest. And it apparently is worse in context. But yeah, he basically says it's like, yes, you can use your online you can use our tools to control your online and offline personal experience. Like that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
That sounds bad out of context, but it sounds worse in context. Let me find
and others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday.
Here, it's worse in context. I know. You guys were probably watching that thinking, I mean, that sounds like kind of bad, but like, when was this even from? Watch!
Emiru get assaulted by a male fan. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan, and
yesterday we saw a Twitch streamer, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan. Okay, this is literally the day after.
A lot of streamers have, especially females,
in reference to Emiru.
Streamers have talked about, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge...
Fucking bullshit, obviously.
The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society.
No, Otaku. Safety of their content creator is their top priority because they have no priority whatsoever.
Fair enough. You can fudge it. You can fudge it as top priority if you have no priorities at all. But also this whole thing is like, oh yeah, like it's a problem of our times. Like, look, we may have more schizos walking around at the moment than there have ever been, but at the same time, every society has had to deal with schizos. It's like every society has had to deal with the mentally ill. Like, this is not a new problem. It may be exasperated by certain issues, but no, we've always had some mentally ill, deranged weirdos in society. This is not anything new.
Do you think that when
let's bring back asylum to make them great again?
Yeah, back in the day, you would be parasocial with people that you would probably never meet in your life, and if you did meet them in your life, they would actually have more significance, culturally speaking, than meeting some rando who's just funny. I'll give you an example. So, if you were a British citizen and you met the sovereign of the empire, you know a lot more about this guy than this guy knows about you. And let's be fair, you probably have a stronger emotional attachment by very much more than he has to you. Because, to be fair, it's easier for a bunch of people to become attached to one person than it is for one person to be attached to an impossible number of people. Like, you know, our brain is not different. Yeah, our brain is not all that different from our ancestors who lived in groups of maybe up to 500. Like, we are not meant to like live. I mean, we can. Our brains are very plastic and malleable, but they're not optimized for that kind of relationship. And yeah, so back in the day, you would be parasocial with things like religious figures. You'd be parasocial with things like people of political importance. You'd be parasocial with people who are in some way, shape, or form actually kind of important. But now we get to be parasocial with people who are, to be perfectly honest, just randos who are funny. It's still parasocialism, but you know, the fact of the matter is a lot of streamers are aware that we are effectively nobodies who are just trying to entertain online. That's it. So, but yeah, this whole idea of like parasociality being new is absolutely fucking not new. The only thing is now we get to be parasocial with a lot more people than we used to be able to.
In society, we have our own type of security guards. They're called security guards and policemen. You know, like, it's not that crime doesn't happen, but there are some preventative measures taken. All right, which is seemingly more than TwitchCon.
Your live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different.
See, his suggestion works, kind of, if he's talking about an online space. But his response is to respond to the IRL space, which makes it sound like he thinks that the IRL space is no different than a digital space. But so it makes him sound it makes him sound retarded.
Yeah, and that's I check. We live in the physical world. We don't live in the digital world. Where's my Digimon?
Where's my Digimon? Oh my god. I am enjoying Digimon handing Pokemon ills, to be perfectly honest. Just like to see Digimon just completely mog Pokemon. Like, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. I was never the biggest Digimon fan, but you know, yeah, I'll take the Digimon W's.
When I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday?
Shut the fuck up, dude. Okay.
How was this? Yeah, he's like, granted, he's probably going to contextualize like to the real stuff right now, but what the fuck was the point about bringing up the live stream thing? It didn't happen on a live stream. All you're doing is you're filling the air with nonsense. It's an obfuscation.
Force field powers activate.
All he's doing is obfuscating from the question.
So Christina Grimmie deserved to get shot? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying Christina Grimmie deserved to die because she cultivated that audience? Is that what you're saying? Emiru deserved to get assaulted? Is that what you're saying? Emiru potentially could have lost her life if that guy decided to bash her fucking face in or stab her or whatever. Would she have deserved that? Is that really what you're saying right now? Is that really what you're fucking saying right now? Are you saying that victims of stalking deserve to be stalked because, you know, like, they cultivated that? Really, bro? Are we really doing this? Like, no matter how you feel about any sort of debate, or like, well, I mean, she's a streamer on the internet or whatever, like, of course she should know that she has, like, diehard simps that will kill her at any opportunity. Duh. Like, you're gonna agree that this is... You should not be saying this at your event. This is insane. Yeah, come to TwitchCon if you're an online creator. Just know that if you get potentially maimed, it's your fault. Why didn't you just ban him from your chat, bro?
Obviously, with something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep.
If this is how you treat your friends, I don't know that I need any enemies, right?
Working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about
Are you insane? Name one person who has said that. That wasn't your own PR campaign.
Helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan
Are you insane?
Was allowed to cross multiple barriers at
I don't know anything
TwitchCon.
about
Why
that.
should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such.
Wait, she's asking a really good question, though. She's asking a very, very good question. Why should we trust Twitch?
Just secure.
Yeah, because apparently everyone who told Emiru that it was not safe to go to TwitchCon was apparently vindicated.
Event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, you know, it is very secure, but here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So
also, Twitch is very secure. Hey, do we remember when everybody's like payments and everything got leaked a couple years ago?
I forgot about that, to be perfectly honest. Secure my fucking ass.
To be fair, in their defense in this situation, which big corpo hasn't had their info leaked?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough.
Especially recently.
Why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, you know, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with.
Victim blame, got it.
Well, actually, I was thinking about that. I think he said literally nothing. I think he said
basically just victim blamed.
Hold on, go back for a moment. I think that was literally also just him saying nothing.
You're putting all of the responsibility on.
Hold on.
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with.
So yes, he did put the blame on the people who he's supposed to be protecting, but actually pay attention to what he said in response to the question that was asked. He was literally saying nothing. Like all of those words.
We ourselves and found nothing.
All of those words to not answer the question.
Why are you putting all of the responsibility on the creators? I don't think creators are always entirely honest when it comes to like their mistreatment from companies. I'm gonna like that's kind of like a spicy take, all right? I don't outright assume that somebody's lying, but you know, like some people tend to take like a more dramatic, like, oh, well, this company, like this company said that I couldn't have a meet and greet, which is just so fucked up. Like they're discriminating against me because I am a smaller YouTuber or whatever. And it's like, well, like you already had one last year, or and there like wasn't enough of a draw, or like whatever, you know, like maybe like you weren't compromising on something or whatever. I don't know. Like there's so many times where it's on the.
What'd you say?
Is it the street light effect?
Oh yeah.
Creator as well. However, it's literally your fault when you invite someone as a guest. It is your responsibility for their safety, especially if you have contractually obliged them to interact with people. Exactly. You took the words right out of my fucking mouth.
Yep.
You took the words right out of my fucking mouth. Why is Dan Clancy putting the onus on the streamers? Oh, like these people are, you know, they're putting themselves out there, and you're making it sound like it's a chore for you. As if it's not your literal fucking job.
Granted, if you go into a dangerous area, and you know it's a dangerous area, you are partly responsible for what may or may not happen to you by willingly going into that dangerous area. But if you are hosting people, and you know that there are particular dangers in the way, place, or manner that you're hosting them, it is still your responsibility as the host to look out for the well-being of your talents.
I'm surprised that we're having this entire conversation with the McDonald's employee. I'll put the fries in the bag.
Put the fries in the bag. But you would imagine that would be obvious, but apparently Twitch doesn't see it that way.
To thing that you're getting paid to do. To host this event, to bring out streamers, to give people a reason to show up to your fucking event. You're like, well, they knew the risks. What? Why would anybody go to TwitchCon then? Why would anybody go to TwitchCon instead of just holding a public meet and greet out in the fucking Griffith Observatory or wherever the fuck, you know?
I had never heard of Tokyo Game Show before any of this stuff, so I'm gonna have to look that up.
I ain't buying tickets to go to Tokyo Game Show. I can barely afford to pay attention.
Like, who the fuck is going to go all the way to TwitchCon then?
Each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any... Reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right?
So yeah, again, putting all the blame, putting all the responsibility on the person who would effectively be their talent that they're, hosting, and at the same time saying literally nothing with regards to the question. He did not outline any particular, like, granted, we're not asking for you to give us the details of a security measure that you have, but he didn't outline anything relevant to the question of what security do you have actually in place. That's what I mean when I said he said literally nothing. And he continues to say literally nothing.
And to my response, so if my protection is all on me, that means I can do whatever I can legally allowed in the state in order to protect myself. Like, if it allows me to have a taser, you ain't going to complain if I tase the culprit's ass, are you?
the age old question of like, so your defense is all in your hand. Like it's in your hand as the person going. It's like, okay, so can I bring my can I bring my own protection? Like, serious question. If you're not responsible for my safety and I'm responsible for my safety, do I get to bring my protection?
God, that's not that old Yowie stick at some point.
Right.
And so, we try to work very closely with each creator about
God,
what
I hope that
they
caught
want
the
to
sound.
do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
And others.
Me looking for the resources.
You are such an asshole.
Again, that entire time, he said nothing relevant to the question that was actually asked. Like, fucking nothing.
Oh yeah, the Twitch ball pit, the Twitch obstacle course that failed to meet basic safety ratings, where a pregnant streamer did the obstacle course and she fell off and she thought that she would fall into a safe little foam pit, so she did like a silly little cannonball, like not really thinking too much about it, because usually when somebody thinks of like a foam ball pit, they think of like, I don't know, that they'll be falling on foam. But she fell onto like 1 inch of foam that had concrete underneath it, and she absolutely shattered her spine and then had to get surgery that caused her to have an abortion. That one? Are you talking about that instance from TwitchCon, what was it, like 2023? Is that the instance you're talking about? Is that some of the safety and security tools that Twitch has to offer? One of their resources? What?
And I would like to remind people, it's like, in the actual clip that got leaked to the public showcasing this with the lady, the Twitch staff member who was there at the pit in order to keep safety goes up to her and the other dude, because apparently there was another dude who basically did the whole entire jumping thing and also got seriously injured. The Twitch staff member walks up to both of them, takes a look at them, turns to the crowd, and basically says they're okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually see that, like, watch that for myself, because I can't vouch for that because I didn't see it. But that being said, it wouldn't surprise me given all this. But I'm just gonna have to put that out there again. This incident involves the death of a child. So yes, you could actually say people have in fact died at TwitchCon, and you would actually be correct, because an unborn baby is still a human being. Just pointing that out there.
An inch of foam on concrete in an obstacle course. I don't think people, like, this is gonna, you know, this might be a little bit of a spicy take here, but I don't think people should have to carry weapons around inside a streamer convention center to avoid getting potentially killed by their own audience. I know that's gonna blow some people's fucking minds. Maybe TwitchCon should have better security, so that kind of thing isn't necessary. How about that?
Or at least
Jesus
security in general.
Christ. It feels
Dan said a lot of words to try to not do his job.
so dramatic to say, but he literally could have killed her. Using a pen. If that is what he had, if he had a pen, he could have stabbed her with that and killed her. It's not unprecedented. I don't know. It's so scary. It's so scary. I don't think I'll be going to TwitchCon next year. I mean, I say that I went to TwitchCon this year, but I never went into the convention center, so I don't know if it really counts as me going to TwitchCon. But next year, I don't want to go to San Diego during TwitchCon. Maybe that's a better way of saying it. There's so many other great places to go, so much other fun stuff to do. I just want to talk to people in the industry and enjoy like tourist stuff. So
Fair.
there's other opportunities to do that than TwitchCon.
I agreed. As much as I rag on California for being California, if I actually had to suffer some time in California, I'm pretty sure I could find better things to do than to, you know, be at a TwitchCon, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.
You had to do the shout out to Low Effort Clips, did you?
Of course. I mean, we just reacted to their video. Of course, I'm gonna have to do that. It would be rude of me to not let that play. Anyway, okay. So I imagine you probably want to go to sleep. So I guess we can call it here.
Before that, just one last thing that if I remember correctly, I shared you the Dan Clancy tweet that basically got leaked.
Oh shit! Hold on.
Pretty old. It's a pretty old little tweet.
Did you share it to me? Oh wait. Oh, you shared it to be written for ants. Holy fuck.
Again, like it wasn't a good.
Okay, so I can't. I don't think I'm gonna be able to put this. Hold on. I don't think this is going to. Let me. I don't know if this will work, but I could try. Oh shit! It does work. Okay, never mind. And so the day was saved thanks to copy link, right? So Dan Clancy. This is June 13th, 2016. Oh, is this the TDS thing you were telling me about?
Yes.
Yeah, you had to remember what TDS. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Okay, so he said, alas, the shame of it is that since we are so polarized as a country in what we read in the media, many Trump supporters would never see an article such as this. Alas, I wanted to say Trumpness. Okay, Trumpness. This man can't type to save his life. Trump is
head of a streaming platform.
Trump is an idiot, but if we were only so lucky, he's much worse and much more dangerous as an idiot. While he won't win, his vile mouth will further polarize what is already a polarized country, making it even harder to govern over the next 4 years. The Donald Trump's exploitation of Orlando, New Yorker. I mean, so like,
yeah. This is something resurfaced, and I can't confirm or deny.
I mean, he's a fan of I mean, he's a fan of Hassan Piker. I could have told you what his opinions on fucking Donald Trump were. Like, it wouldn't have been that hard. Like, okay. Alright, I think that'll end the stream for right now. I can't really think of anything to bring up here other than Dan Clancy is an ideologically possessed idiot. Like, how else do you...
So it's new.
How else do you explain him keeping Hassan Piker as the front page of Twitch for as long as he's been? That doesn't make any fucking sense. So, anyway, long story short, Twitch bad, I guess, is if you wanted a too long didn't read for this, Twitch bad.
Yeah. That's probably the best summarization we could give.
Yeah. Man, this was a rambling episode. But like hopefully we will eventually develop the skill to be on fucking task and effectively on task at some point, right?
Hey, most streamers can spend their entire lives streaming and still not get on task. What hope do you think we have?
You're right. We should just be cringe. Be cringe, be free, right? All right. All right, I'm stopping the stream.
Okay.
All right, y'all have a lovely day.